Laura Martinez is in right, batting fifth. Corey Vaughn bats sixth. He'll be in center. Batting seventh is Austin Green. He'll be behind the dish catching. The shortstop Edwin Garcia bats eighth. And batting ninth, third baseman Kalike Kahu'o'alaala.
Beautiful, beautiful work there.
Not bad, eh?
That's good stuff. All right, let's see how the Skeeters are going to line them up on defense tonight. Same alignment as last night. Cordy Hawk is going to man left field. Over in center field, we have Barrett Barnes. Kyle Gabitz is going to take over in right field. Over in third base, we got Albert Cordero. Alvaro Rondon going to man shortstop. Anthony Giansanti over at second base. Matt Chavez is going to take over at first base. Derek Norris behind the plate. And your starter tonight, Mitch Talbot.
Well, Talbot coming off a Game 1 7 shutout, 3-hit performance, 91 pitches, 65 for strikes. He walked 2. He struck out 6 in the Skeeters' 14-1 victory in Game 1 of this series. And Mitch will try to repeat that performance here. Well, the 34-year-old Talbot, 6 foot 180, originally from Cedar City, Utah, now makes his home in Arizona. Originally drafted by the Astros in 2002 out of Canyon View High School in Cedar City, Utah. Well, so far this season, he has struck out 17 while walking 6, surrendering 14 hits. Talbot leads the Atlantic League in opponent batting average, just 175, also leads the league in ERA at 157, and third in innings pitched with 23. 4 starts, he has allowed just runs in one of those starts. That was 4 runs, but that was in Lancaster, a very hitter-friendly park. The other 3, no earned runs. First pitch of the ball game by the former big leaguer Talbot is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1, and we're underway. Game 6 of a 7-game series and Game 6 of a 7-game homestand, all against these Blue Crabs. The Skeeters have a 3-2 lead in this series. The 0-1, curveball swung and blooped into right center. That's going to fall in for a hit. Kyle Kabitza over there in a hurry. He'll throw it in, and a leadoff single against Talbot, who only allowed 3 hits last time out in Game 1 against these Southern Maryland Blue Crabs.
Yeah, maybe kind of an ambush there. When after the first pitch of the game, you don't always necessarily see that, but when the way Mitch Talbot's going, why not? I mean, take what you can get.
Devin Rodriguez, 307, no home runs, 6 RBIs for the left-handed hitting D-Rod. Not bad.
I like that one. So, yeah, now Rodriguez moves over to first base tonight, not DHing. Maybe that affects him. I mean, hitting 307 this year, off to a pretty good start.
Talbot looks over at Johnny Bladell, who swiped a base yesterday. He also left after being hit on the hand by a pitch. This one fouled off to the left side, and I don't know about you, but I thought that was going to set off a brawl at some point, because then retaliation to Derek Norris, they threw behind him, and I thought, oh boy, here we go. But it settled down. I guess everybody got it out of the way, and it was done. So, I mean, at least it was settled very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's still 18 innings of baseball to be played in this series, so we could see some fireworks, but it kind of appeared like it's all died down at this point.
The 0-1 by the Skeeters right-hander is hit to the right side. This could be 2. Chavez spins, throws it towards second and into left center field. That's the second time he has done that in the last couple of nights, and now this one goes all the way to left center field. Bladell will come all the way around to score, as it seems Chavez, who's been so good at first, just has trouble with that throw at second, the 3-6-3 DP attempt.
And that's a pretty tough throw for a right-hander, because, I mean, you are spinning, you don't even really see where you're going to throw the ball until almost that last second when you release it. But, yeah, Matt, kind of shaking his head after he let that one go. He knew he airmailed it.
And that's an important run as Southern Maryland scores first, because the Skeeters are 11-2 when they score first. Last night, 17-3 win. They scored 4 in the first. They are just 2-5 when the opponent scores first. Now, a runner at second, nobody out, and in steps the right-handed hitting Ryan Strasburger. This one is a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Umpires for tonight, Reggie Liggins behind the dish, calling balls and strikes. Brad Parker at first. Eric Davis, last night's home plate umpire, at third. Talbot's ready. He will deal the 1-0 to the right-handed hitting Strasburger, and the left fielder hits it towards short past the diving Rondon. This is going to be another run. Around third, coming at the score is Rodriguez, and it is 2-0 Blue Crabs here in the first. Certainly not Talbot's fault, or at least all Talbot's fault, but not the start the Skeeters wanted here. But they do have a little offense, as we spoke about in the pregame show.
Yeah, maybe kind of now you got to run around first, chance for double play. Maybe just a chance for Mitch to hit the reset button here. Kind of some, the first pitch of the game for a single, then the air. So maybe an opportunity for him to settle down a bit.
So that'll bring in Angelo Sanko, the cleanup hitter, who has hit very well in this series. 233 overall, no home runs, no RBIs for the left-handed hitting first baseman. Talbot peeks over his left shoulder at the runner at first. Strasburger comes home. This one is low. 1 ball in, no strikes to count. Skeeters with a season high 17 runs and also in hits last night with 16. 2-0 here in the top of the first for the Blue Crabs. Skeeters have outscored the Blue Crabs in this series an impressive 47-22, and you would think that they're out hitting them by a bunch, but not as much as you would think, 53-45.
Yeah, and I mean the runs have come in bunches. I mean, and a lot of them have come but 3-run homers by Courtney Hawkins last night. You know, a lot of them have come in that fashion.
1 ball and 1 strike to count here to Angelo Sanko. A little bit of an earlier start here, 6:05 on Saturday, so the Shadows are just past home plate as this one is served into left field. Hawkins shading his eye. This one is trouble into the corner, reaches up, disappears, and he caught it. He disappears from our vantage point as he went into that left field corner, and we can't see him here with the grandstand over there. Made a nice catch, had to battle the sun and that corner.
Yeah, it was a great adjustment. It looked like he kind of was able to block out the sun after kind of a while, and he picked it up, and good closing speed by Courtney to make that catch.
You did one of those Mr. Burns sun blockers.
Yeah, exactly. That was an impressive job because it kind of looked like he wasn't going to be able to see that. I don't know about you, but I thought that was going to fall for at least a foul ball.
I did. Teodoro Martinez steps in, 333 for Teodoro. No home runs and 1 RBI. Teodoro, a little bit of an unusual stance. Gets into a crouch before he gets set, but then stands straight up. But his bat is actually drooped behind his back as he fouls the first pitch off here. No balls and 1 strike to count.
Not a bad night for him. He came in and went 3 for 3 in a replacement of Tony Bladell, and he gets a start today.
Bladell was 0 for 1 with that hit by pitch and a stolen base. He was 3 for 3, as you mentioned, 3 singles and an RBI. The 0-1 here by Talbot. And nope, he's going to throw to first. Pretty close. Perfect spot just to the left of the first base bag and low, so Chavez didn't have to go far to put the tag on. Skeeters down 2-0 here in the top of the first. A reversal from yesterday with the Skeeters up 4-0 in the first. Go back in this series, it was Southern Maryland the day before, a 5-0. This off the mitt of Talbot, and man, he's getting some tough breaks here. The error and now a ball hit back to him, which was an easy ball, possibly a double play, goes off of his mitt towards second base, and that's going to be an infield single. Yikes.
Yeah, that's a tough break. Heads up play by Anthony Jansanti to go make sure to get to that ball in a hurry because you got Strasburger there on first base. He could have easily run and went to third, and with 1 out, you know, it turns a fly ball turns into a run.
Corey Vaughn will step in. 217, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Skeeters down 2-0 here in the top of the first. And Joey Wagman, the right-hander for the Blue Crabs, who struggled in that Game 1 start where he went 3 1/3, allowed 7 runs, 6 earned, will have at least 2. This one popped into shallow right field. Little collision and the ball drops. They should get the force at second. Now they're going to go for the force at third. What a gutsy play, and the throw to second almost gets him. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, no, that's your traditional 9-5 put out here at third base. That was a gutsy play by Kyle Kubica. At first, I thought he just completely airmailed the second baseman, and that, I mean, I hit Cordero right in the chest there at third base.
You're surprised he didn't go to second. He would have had him by a mile, which is usually the move, and Kubica was very close, but he's got a cannon. Talked to him on the pregame show yesterday. He's always been known to have a terrific arm, so wherever he plays, you can get that, and that was gutsy, but what a play.
I mean, yeah, I think the key for him there was it looked like there was any hesitation. I mean, he saw it, and he knew right where he was going with the ball, and that was quite a throw.
Big second out now. 2 outs, 2 on, 2-0 Blue Crabs here in the top of the first. That'll bring in the catcher, Austin Green. Green, 296, no home runs and 5 RBIs. First pitch by Talbot. Big overhand curve for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count.
It's just a really sloppy inning overall. I think the Skeeters, if they can get out of this with just being down 2-0, that be pretty thankful for that.
Especially with their offense. We mentioned in the pregame show, they lead the league in home runs, hits, and walks. So plenty of opportunities coming up. The 0-1 to Green. This one low and away, 1-1. Talbot wants a new baseball. Always feel when a guy wants a new ball, it's never really about the ball, is it?
No, probably not. And I mean, you can imagine he's probably a little frustrated. He's making
Yeah.
his pitches this inning, just not getting a lot of help.
Former big leaguer looks in for the sign from his former big league catches. A pretty good battery of experience in the big leagues between Talbot and Norris. This one swung and missed. Ball low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
And Austin Green, 5 RBIs this season. All 5 of them came in his last game he played. That was back here on Thursday night.
Talbot 14 pitches, 12 of them for strikes. So he's only thrown 2 balls despite what's gone on here. The 2 runs in here in the top of the first for the Blue Crabs. Long look in here by Mitch. Norris will set up on the outside corner. The 1-2 swung a hit towards third. Cordero, nice short hop. And a tough play look easy. He'll throw it to first, and that'll do it. Not before 7 men come to the plate. The Blue Crabs get 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 big error, and 2 men left on base. It is the Blue Crabs 2 and the Skeeters coming to bat for the first time.
Any outing he's had all season, and now I mean on normal rest, 5 days rest, but gotta look for those signs of fatigue early.
Looks like he was probably coming out of the bullpen. The other starts 1 inning, 2 innings, 2 innings, 1 inning.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably a desperate situation for a starter. First pitch here is a strike to Kubica, 3-0-4 for Kyle, 2 home runs and 13 RBIs. And Kyle going through just a little bit of a slide, still hitting fairly well, but last 5 games 2 for 18 overall, a 111 mark. Check swing strike on the outside corner to the left-hand hitting right fielder. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Skeeters are down 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Ira Liebman, Ryan Postner, Will Scott later on. We were talking before we went on the air that Skeeters have gone 2 games, which doesn't sound like a lot, but they hadn't done it all season. 2 games without an error, and an error here in the first inning.
Right on cue.
1 ball and 2 strikes here on Kyle Kubica, the Skeeters right fielder. Slightly open stance from the left side. They set up inside. Swung and ripped to first. Nice play by the first baseman, Rodriguez. Kind of came up on him to his left. He grabbed it by his shoulder. Tough play behind first base and takes it himself, 3 unassisted on the putout.
And not too shabby considering he spent the first 5 games of the series as the DH, and of course, the first ball of the game finds him. That ball was smoked by Kyle Kubica. Nice play over there by Devin Rodriguez.
The scouting report on Kubica, and they always talk about launch angle these days. He's got a terrific line drive swing. I don't know why you would want to ever mess with that.
I've seen him take swings in the cages, and you can see he really emphasizes that meet the ball in the middle on his way down. He's not like, what's been taught today where you want to meet it on the way up.
Well, in steps Matt Chavez. Chavez 427. There's one hit towards short. Right at Garcia. He'll throw it to first. Nice easy toss, and quickly 2 down here. 4 pitches by Wagman. He's got 2 outs. Derek Norris will step in. Norris 250 with a home run and 9 RBIs. Joey Wagman was voted to the All-Big West Conference team twice as a starting pitcher at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. You got to be a pretty smart guy to be in that school, don't you?
It's a nice school. It's a nice area, too, on the Central Coast of California.
Wagman made his first appearance in independent ball in 2014 while playing for the Rockford Aviators, went 6-2 with a 3.05 ERA in 12 games. So he has been a starter before. This one is down low. 1 ball and no strikes here to Norris. Wagman, a former 17th round pick in 2013 by the White Sox out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. The 1-0. This one is right down the middle for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike the count here. Norris last 5 games starting to heat up. 5 for 13, a 385 mark. 2 doubles, a home run, 3 RBIs, and 5 walks. So he's getting on base even when he's not hitting. Check swing. Looked like I was just about to say good eye. Called a strike and a low strike at that. 1-2 now on Norris instead of 2-1.
And you mentioned this on an earlier broadcast, Derek. He knows he spent a lot of time behind the plate tonight. You really didn't see an appeal from him there. He didn't even really look back. He knows it's going to be a long night. Don't want to get on the bad side of the umpire in the first inning.
Wagman will kick and deal. They'll set up away here. The 1-2 is fouled off to the right side. Nice piece of hitting by Norris. Tried to go the other way with the ball on the outside. Skeeters are down 2-0 here in the first. The red-hot Albert Cordero on deck. Wagman was a teammate of Monday's starter for the Skeeters. That was Mr. Wagman. Excuse me, that was Mr. Sergey. Matt Sergey for the Skeeters. They played together in 2017 at High A Stockton in the Cal League while with Oakland. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0 Blue Crabs here in the in the bottom half of the first inning. This one swung and a missed strike 3. So a very quick inning for Wagman. Needs 11 pitches, 8 for strikes, gets 2. for the Skeeters. He will face Edwin Garcia, Kalika Kahu'o'ala, and then back to the top of the order with Johnny Bladell. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch to Garcia, a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. Garcia 254 with a home run and 7 RBIs. Last night he was 1 for 3 with a run scored. Could have been 2 for 3. Robbed of a hit from Alvaro Rondon. Great play at short. This one is hit down the right side, foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
I feel like I've heard that a few times this year. Alvaro Rondon making a great play at shortstop. Seems like he puts on a show there every night.
Not too bad, and I want to have him on the pregame show soon. I really want to talk to him about, it just seems from where we're sitting, and this may not be true, but I think it is just by watching, that Pete Gavilia likes Rondon. He obviously had played for him before, but I think what he knows of Rondon is that Rondon understands his role. You know, just a few days ago, there was a double play, big league double play combo out there between Ray Navarro and Colin Walsh, and Navarro got signed by the Yankees and Walsh got hurt. His fingers, he's still out on the disabled list, and Rondon comes back in. At the beginning of the year, he was starting, and I don't think he's a guy, and that's probably the thing that Pete loves about him, is that he knows that he's going to have to do and sometimes sit behind guys, but when it's his time to shine, he'll come in and do that, and he's really reliable. Plus, he runs well, he bunts well. I mean, he does a lot of things well. He's gotten off to a slow start hitting, but you know what to expect from him. You know by the end of the season he'll hit his 270, as this one is hit up the middle, and even Rondon, who comes up with it basically behind second on a dive, has no play, so he holds on to it. It'll be in, I don't want to call it an infield single because it was technically on the grass in the outfield, but a leadoff single regardless. Well, in steps Kalika Kahu'o'ala, who is still looking for his first hit. He is 0 for 16 to start the season. That 0 for is getting bigger by each at bat. Once you get into 0 for 20 plus, it's pretty big.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that it's like the start of season 2, because you might go on an 0 for 16 slump somewhere in the middle of the season, but to start it, it's very noticeable.
And he tries to bunt for his first hit. Cordero had him played perfectly. He'll throw it to first. The sac bunt works, although I think he was trying to get a hit there. It'll go down 5-3 on the putout. Garcia goes down to second, and with 1 out and a runner in scoring position, we go back to the top of the order with Johnny Bladell. Bladell scored from first base on that throwing error by Chavez on an attempted double play. The Skeeters' first baseman threw it into left field, and it went almost all the way to the wall before Hawkins could retrieve it.
Give some credit to the Blue Crabs here. I mean, they really struggled against Mitch Talbot last time, and here we go again. Second inning with 1 out. They got a guy in scoring position, so obviously made some adjustments, and a nice job by Koa to get the bunt down there.
Talbot throwing nothing but strikes. He has thrown 21 pitches, 18 of them for strikes. This one fouled off to the right side. That will pay dividends eventually. So 0-1 the count here on Bladell. Bladell comes in batting an even .400. 1 home run and 12 RBIs. That's good for 3rd in the league for average. Cordero is now 4th, right behind him at .395. Chavez right in front of him at .420. Rico Noel of the Barnstormers, who also was picked up by the Astros late in the year, leading the league at .455. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. 2-0 Blue Crabs here in the top of the second on another amazing day here in Sugar Land. Take a look at the weather. Just for you, Ryan.
Appreciate it. I was a little curious.
I mean, it's no San Diego type weather, but it is a gorgeous 88 degrees with 54% humidity and a wind at 13 miles an hour south-southeast, which means it's blowing in from left center.
You're a New York guy, so you can appreciate this, you know. You get a bagel, you can still have a good bagel. If you go to New York, you know, that's the prime place for a bagel. You know, you can still have good weather. It's not San Diego weather, but, you know, it's still good weather.
Oi, need a good bagel.
And it's been beautiful. I mean, a couple clouds out there today, but a nice breeze. Those flags are whipping in from right field.
We went to Long Island and had a nice everything bagel with cream cheese. It was very good. I had no complaints.
I've actually never been to New York, so when I go there for the first time, I'll have to
How could a guy who has been to L.A. and spent time in California never got across country
it's crazy.
to New York?
It's one of those places.
I mean, even Will goes to Syracuse. He's been in New York.
I know. I'm not quite as traveled as our other broadcast partner, but hopefully someday I want to go out to Wrigley Field, out to Yankee Stadium, see all those places.
This one a check swing toward short. Rondon's going to have to hurry. He scoops and bobbles the ball, and there'll be no play. That will probably be a base hit. We'll see how they score that one, but either way, runners on the corners, and Talbot is not getting any help today. Wow. An error, probably not an error on that, but Rondon 9 times out of 10 makes that play. Talbot tried to field the bullet, ricocheted off of his mitt. There's some terrible luck. 20 of 24 pitches still for Talbot strikes.
I mean, out of all the hits, too, I can't really think of one that I felt was like scorched. You know, they've mostly been kind of ground balls that have just evaded the infielders, and we'll have to see how their official score rules that. But I have a feeling Bladel might have beat that out either way, so I'd say hit, but we'll have to see.
They'll give him an error. Wow, that's a tough E. E6. The 1-2 here to the left-hander hitting Devin Rodriguez. This one up the middle. Rondon can't get to this one. That'll be a base hit. Coming down to score is Garcia, and it is 3-0 Blue Crabs. So an error leads to another run here.
Another ball. I mean, just kind of skipped its way up the middle. I mean, it took about 7 hops before it made its way into the outfield, and just not getting Mitch Talbot not getting any luck. And like you said, I mean, he's working. He's pounding the zone right now.
Rodriguez, his 7th RBI of the season, intercepts the number 3 hitter. Ryan Strasburger had an RBI single his first time up. He is 1 for 1. Came in hitting .294, 2 home runs, now 13 ribbies. Open stance from the right side. Holds that bat above his head and waggles it. Points it towards the pitcher. This one is hit into right field. Kubica is there. He will grab it, tagging up at second, and going for third is Bladel. He'll make it standing up, but now 2 down. Always bring in Angelo Sanco. Hitting much better in this series. Sanco overall 233, no home runs, no RBIs. Fouled out his last time up to deep left field as Courtney Hawkins, the Skeeters left fielder, battled the wind, the sun, and the corner. He was smack up against the corner by the grandstand. We lost sight of him. Thought maybe he vanished off the face of the earth like the Bermuda Triangle there.
Let's say you've got the Barry had to tackle before he caught that too.
3-0. Blue Crabs leading here in the top of the second. Talbot trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, I remember with Somerset, Kyle Roller, a big power hitter, came in and hadn't hit his first home run of the year yet. Skeeters kept that way. Sanco kind of reminds me of that guy who hasn't hit one out yet this year. We know he has the power.
This one grounded foul just to the right of home. No balls and 1 strike the count here. Sanco, the DH, with Devin Rodriguez playing first today. 3 runs on 5 hits for the Blue Crabs. They have not committed an error. Skeeters, no runs, no hits, and they have committed a pair of errors already today. They'll set up inside here on Sanco. Check swing. Misses a little low and in. 1-1 the count.
Again, another fairly sloppy inning, but I mean, you get this big out here. I mean, you're still 3 runs, and after scoring 17 last night, something tells me that, you know, it's going to take a little more than 3 for the Blue Crabs to win this one.
Although, after the big victory in Game 1, the Skeeters only mustered 2 the next day. The 1-1. This one swung and missed at a ball in the dirt. Now ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes here. That was the 30th pitch for Talbot, 25 for strikes.
That was a nice job working low in the zone there, too, with the breaking ball. So he's getting strikes. He's not necessarily having to work in the zone to get them, though, at all times.
Talbot, a fastball 88-91, a changer, a curve, a slider, and a sinker. So 5 pitches for the starter. That's coming alive here on the 1-2 pitch. 2 outs, 2 on, runners on the corners. It is Bladel at third and Rodriguez on at first. Skeeters trailing 3-0 here in the top of the second. The 1-2, swung and fouled off to the left side. Count remains 1-2. Well, Talbot's certainly been around the zone. Just not getting lucky here. Or he is unlucky, no matter which side of that argument you'd like to take. If he can get out of it, still looking for his first strikeout. Be a good opportunity here. Sanco has a lot of power, but he does also strike out a lot. Talbot looks in for the sign, looks over at the runner at first, Rodriguez. They will set up inside, and the 1-2 by the former big leaguer is swung on and popped up left side. Tough sun for Cordero, now in foul territory, but he has no trouble with it at all and brings it down for the final out. But the Blue Crabs get another run. They Vader. Tricks. Balls going in different directions. Bad hops, errors. Skeeters are down 3-0 here. They went 3 up, 3 down in the the bottom of the first. Meat of the order will be coming up here. Trailing by 3, Albert Cordero, Anthony Jansanti, and Courtney Hawkins. In steps Cordero, red hot again. He is 12 for his last 23, including going 3 for 5 last night with a double and an RBI. This one is hit through the right side. Another hit for Cordero. Skeeters in business here. Switch hitter batting from the left side, pulled it through the right side. And Skeeters have their first base runner and first hit. Gonna bring in Anthony Jansanti.
11 hits now, 6 in the last 6 games. I mean, that's remarkable from Albert Cordero.
It's crazy. Well, Jansanti will step in here. Anthony last 6 games, 6 for 23, 261 mark. He's got a home run and 4 RBIs to go along with 2 doubles and 3 runs scored. Skeeters trailing 3-0. First pitch here to number 21 inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Anthony, last year for the Skeeters, 276, 9 home runs, 54 RBIs, 31 steals. Selected to the All-Star team as he swings and misses at an outside fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Drafted by the A's in the 49th round in 2010 out of Siena College. Didn't sign.
I was thinking that round of the draft doesn't even exist anymore, does it?
Nope, just 40. This one hit high in the air down the left field line, foul. Yeah, I ask a lot of guys, like, what would you have done if you were being drafted now, because you'd be a free agent. Just say they would try out or try to make a team as a free agent. I'm sure the scouts are always trying to find those tweeners, if you will, the guys that don't get drafted but are still good players, maybe playing for a small school. Sometimes you get those great stories. This one hit down the right field line. That is a fair ball just inside the chalk line. Cordero around second, going for third. Jansanti may have come up lame here. Hope he did not pull a hamstring. Seemed to be limping going into second with a double.
That didn't look good. And now he's down with his hands on his knees, and we're going to get the Strander out here to take a look at him.
Max Mahaffey quickly out of the Skeeters dugout. Let's hope he is okay, because that did not look pretty, and that looked like a hamstring. He's holding his calf, actually, which may be better news. Once that hamstring goes, you're out for a while. Here comes Pete Incaviglia, so Inky will take a look at his second baseman. Well, if he's not in the lineup, he's going to be really strapped here. Dennis Phipps certainly cannot play the infield. He does not have the quickness. Colin Walsh is on the DL. I don't know where you really go here.
Well, yeah, luckily they have Rolando Gomez signed
That's
prior
right.
to yesterday's game, so that.
Yep, he's going to come out. So Gomez is probably going to come in here. That's not good for Jansanti. That's too bad.
Yeah, obviously never a good time to get injured, but I mean, Anthony, after that hitting streak broke up for him earlier in the year, I mean, 3 for 6 last night, so 4 of his last 7 and a double right there. It seemed like he was kind of starting to heat up again.
Gomez will come in and run here for Jansanti and stay in the game and play second, most likely. Skeeters threatening here, down 3-0. Second and third with nobody out for Courtney Hawkins.
And you know Anthony far better than I, but I mean, obviously must have been something pretty serious to get him out of a ball game.
Yep, last year he dove on the warning track here in center field, cut up his whole arm from wrist to elbow, and he missed a day.
Yeah, doesn't really surprise me to hear that story.
First pitch was fouled off. No balls and 1 strike to count here on Hawkins. Hawkins with a good game again yesterday. Hawkins in yesterday's game had a 3-run homer, a double. He drove in 4, scored 2. Was 2 for 4 on base, also with a walk, so on base 3 times yesterday. This one, the old dewdrop in, breaks right over the inside corner for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Gomez down at second, the Pembroke Pines native of Florida. Played for the Evansville Otters in the Frontier League. Been as high as AA, a decade of pro experience. The 0-2, swung and belted down the left field line. A fair ball over the head of the third baseman. This is going to get 2 home. Cordero scores easily. Gomez comes home. Sliding safely into second is Hawkins, but now he overslides the bag, and he's called out and tagged out. But the Skeeters cut it to 1. They're down just 3-2. Unfortunate for Hawkins.
So interesting. He overslid the bag. Do you rule that a double?
Yes, you do. It's a double because he was safe going over the bag and tagged out after he got in safely.
Also, Cordy Hawkins came into the game leading the league with 23 RBIs, now up to 25. 16 RBIs in his last 9 games.
Also 25 RBIs in 20-plus games.
Yeah, I know. He is, I mean, and obviously kind of set up nicely there with the runners on second and third. I mean, you can credit Jan Santi for setting that up, but give it to Cordy for cashing him in once again.
Well, Barrett Barnes will step in. First pitch to Barnes. This one is a strike on the outside corner. Barnes is average just at 230, no home runs and 4 RBIs, but if you're not watching him, you don't really understand how well he has been at the plate. He has walked 9 times over his last 6 games and has reached base safely in 15 of his last 27 plate appearances. He also leads the league in walks. The Skeeters as a team lead the league in walks as well. So I know he's probably frustrated that his average is not coming up, but he is doing very well at the plate. He is seeing the ball well. He is being patient. He's drawing walks. So, you know, I still think it's just a matter of time.
And he's got the speed too. So I mean, getting him on base is a valuable asset. He's still tied for 5th in the league with 4 stolen bases.
19 walks to lead the Atlantic League. First round pick by the Pirates back in 2012 out of Texas Tech. It was a 45th overall pick that year. Skeeters down by just 1, 3-2 as they put a pair on the board here in the bottom of the second. Curveball swung and rope foul down the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Mr. Barnes, the Sugar Land native.
Just going through the stats there, it's kind of funny. I mean, Derek Norris, 14 walks. That's 3rd on the team. It's also tied for 3rd in the Atlantic League. Just goes to show you how much the Skeeters are dominating that stat.
It's a great stat. So they are 1, 2, and 3 in the Atlantic League.
Kyle Kubica with 15 is number 2.
Swung and a miss. Chased the high fastball, and that is the second out. So 2 outs. In steps Dennis Phipps. Phipps comes in 250, no home runs and 6 RBIs. But Phipps yesterday really had his best game since joining the Skeeters. He had 3 hits, on base 4 times with a walk, and 3 singles, 4 RBIs, and scored a run. 5 RBIs, excuse me.
Yeah, him and Kyle Kubica both with 5 RBI games this year.
First pitch is low, 1 ball and no strikes to count. Skeeters trailing just by 1 now, 3-2. Remember in game 1 of this series, Wagman, who looked pretty sharp here until this inning, really got beat up pretty bad by the Skeeters in 3 1/3. He allowed 7 runs, 6 of them earned. He allowed 7 hits, only walked 2, struck out 2 through 78 pitches. And Ryan, you talked about it, that 78 was well beyond a season high. Before that, only 30 pitches. So the Skeeters can be patient, do what they do best, walk. Even if they're not scoring runs, they may get him out early.
And we said it time and time again. I mean, it's not like this Blue Crowds bullpen is lights out by any means either. So once you get in there, it's all kinds of opportunities.
This one is hammered to right center field. The wind is going to hold this one up, and camped under it is the right fielder Teodoro Martinez, and that will do it. But the Skeeters pull to within 1. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Through 2, it is the Blue Crabs 3 and the Skeeters 2. We move to the top of the third. Skeeters finally helping Talbot. They get him a pair of runs. So Mitch and the Skeeters down by just one now, 3-2. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 here for the Blue Crabs. Teodoro Martinez, Corey Vaughn, and Austin Green. Martinez, whose brother is with the Cards.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Jose Martinez. Got to thank one of our events guys, Russell, for pointing this out to me. Jose Martinez, the first baseman for the Cardinals, having quite a season for them too, about 320 right now.
Russell also a Cardinal fan.
Yeah, so he was going to know that one right away.
First pitch, a strike here. No balls and one strike to count. And this could be really good for Mitch because he is really pitching a good game. He's not gotten help defensively. And 32 pitches, 28 for strike. So he has been right on. This one is low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
See if they can get Teodoro Martinez out. I mean, now he's 4 for his last 4 since he got subbed in. Wondering why he's not been in the lineup these last few nights.
3 runs on 5 hits for the Blue Crabs. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Skeeters. The 1-1. This one is a strike down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
That was a pretty nasty bender. That almost looked like it was going to hit Martinez, and all of a sudden it fell into the inside part of the strike zone.
Talbot gets the sign, kicks and deals. The 1-2 swung and a miss. A weak wave at a ball low and away, and that's the first K of the day, and there's 1 away. And I always talk about this because I'm just a huge fan, really, in any game, but it seems baseball has a little bit more of it. Momentum is huge, and we saw it shift yesterday once the Skeeters got 4 runs, but Skeeters just got 2. Talbot gets his first strikeout, so he's off to a good start. Both of the leadoff hitters in the first 2 innings reached and led to runs, and I think it's starting to shift back.
I mean, yeah, if you're an optimist, too, the defense can't really get much worse. We've seen it through the first 2 innings and error in each inning, so I think that's going to be the biggest key because Mitch is doing his job. He's really pounding the strike zone, not a lot of hard contact.
And before Mitch can deliver the first pitch to Vaughn, Vaughn asks for timeout. Why do you need timeout before you've even received 1 pitch?
I'll follow that under the mental game, probably try to mess with Talbot's timing, I guess.
As 1 swung and a miss, Mitch is not a guy that you're going to throw his game off. He is Mr. Cool, Calm, and Collective, so good luck.
Yeah, as he fires in strike 1 right there, no problem.
Skeeters trailing 3-2 here in the top of the 3rd. Talbot still working quickly here. The 0-1. This one a strike at the knees and quickly 0-2. Ooh, and Vaughn does not look too happy. Enjoying and looking right at the umpire. You usually do that, you get tossed.
Yeah, I've noticed umpires tend to give players and especially Pete and our manager pretty long leash. It's going to take you a pretty good jawing to get ejected.
The 0-2. There's one in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Skeeters down by 1, 3-2 here in the top of the 3rd. That wind is strong today. Shadows now at the base of Talbot's feet. This one misses just off the outside corner. Great pitch by Talbot. A couple of inches off the outside corner. Trying to get Vaughn to chase. He did not. Now 2-2.
Really nice frame job by Derek Norris there, too, because that was a little outside, but just the frame kind of almost set it up to look like a strike.
They'll set up inside. The 2-2 by Talbot. Swung and hit high in the air to left field. I don't think Courtney Hawkins sees it. And now it is going to be Rondeau. Nope, it's going to be Hawkins. He finally found it. Man, that sun is tough this time of day, especially with these early games starting at 6. I'll fly out to left. Could have been an adventure, but nice job by Hawkins, shading his eyes. Finally got a hold of where that ball was. Now 2 down, none on here for Austin Green. 296, no home runs, and 5 RBIs.
Yeah, Courtney Hawkins, that was twice now where he's really made a nice adjustment. You kind of see that adjustment happen in real time, too, where it's like you can almost tell when he picks up the ball.
Skeeters trailing by 1, 3-2. Talbot looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. This fastball just misses off the outside corner. 1-0, and that looked like a borderline pitch that could have been called for a strike. Do you think Talbot is such a smart pitcher as a former big leaguer that he's testing the umpires to see how far outside he can go?
Oh, I believe that for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Catches the outside corner there, put it about an inch further in, and gets the call, 1-1.
I mean, Mitch is kind of, you watch him, he's a control pitcher. You know, he's not going to blow you away with the velocity. And I would totally agree with what you said. I mean, he's going to stretch that limit of the strike zone.
The 1-1. This one is chopped right back to Talbot. He has this one. He'll throw it to first, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3. We move to the bottom of the third. Skeeters will try to tie this one or take their first lead. They're down 3-2. It'll be 9-1-2. Alvaro Rondon, Kyle Kubica, and Matt Chavez. First pitch swung and missed as Rondon chased a high outside fastball. No balls and one strike to count. Alvaro, 196, no home runs, and 4 RBIs. The 0-1. Swung and rope foul down the right field line. That's a fair ball. It'll rattle around in the corner. Let's see if Rondon tries for 3. He's turning it on. He will. Around second, and he will get into third easily, standing up with a leadoff stand-up triple.
Man, he is quick. Oh, is that like almost he could have a chance there for the inside the Parker?
His first triple of the year. That is only the second triple of the year for the Skeeters as a team. Because when you're hitting a bunch of doubles and home runs, you don't need to get the third.
And that was on opening night, if I'm not mistaken. That was Anthony Chansanchi when he almost left the yard.
Well, Skeeters with a golden opportunity here to tie this one up without the benefit of a base hit. As Kyle Kubica, who is a great run producer with 13 ribbies already, a .304 average and 2 home runs, will step to the plate. A left-hand hitting right fielder against the right-hander Wagman. I kind of felt that Rondon was really starting to hit the ball hard places, and then he was going to start turning it on, and really looks like he's starting to here.
Yeah, so he came in 7 for his last 24, so 292. That's an uptick. I mean, that's not obviously you hope to see a little higher for a trend like that, but I mean, when you're batting below 200, you get that's a good sign.
The 1-0 low, 2 balls and no strikes to count. Wagman has been around the strike zone much like Talbot, 30 pitches, 22 for strikes so far. Skeeters trailing 3-2 here in the bottom of the third. And a leadoff triple by Alvaro Rondon gives the Skeeters a runner at third with nobody out. They all concede the run. The infield is back here. The 2-0. This one swung and fouled straight back. Good hack by Kubica.
I don't think we had a chance to really see how far Rondon kind of get to top speed there. And that was, I already said it.
That was like 3 bases in 10 seconds.
I know. I mean, I'd love to get a stopwatch to see how quick that was, because that was.
You could actually go back on YouTube and
that's a good call. I might have to do that.
Check it out. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here. They'll set up inside. And this one is swung and lifted out to shallow left center field. This might drop in for a hit. It will. And Rondon will walk home easily, and the Skeeters have tied it at 3-3. Just a little bloop went the opposite way. Dropped in front and near the line in front of Ryan Strausberger. And a brand new ball game here.
As I say, it'll be a line drive in the box score tomorrow.
Yes, indeed, sir. 14th RBI of the season for Kubica. Now the Skeeters have a chance to take the lead with a runner down at first and nobody out. Kubica has speed. He could try to swipe a bag, and in steps Matt Chavez, and you know what Matt is capable of. Now 3 runs on 5 hits for both of these teams. Skeeters have made 2 errors, though. Blue Crabs have not. Which, by the way, on the boards it says Red Crabs with them wearing red. This one is hit down the left field line, just foul. Well, that had a chance right off the bat, but quickly hooked. Chavez has 2 hits in half of the games he's played in this year. So 10 of the 20 games he has played in this year, he has multi-hit games. Really been unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he's second in the league in hitting, 2 behind Rico Noel, who's obviously up near 500, but in very different ways. Rico Noel obviously blazing speed. Matt Chavez is really just doing with the bat, finding gaps and all that good stuff.
Chavez also second in the league in hitting, came in at 420, first in the league in hits with 34. 3-3 your score here. Blue Crabs got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Skeeters got 2 in the second and 1 here in the third.
Talk about momentum. Last inning, the first 1-2-3 inning from Mitch Talbot. Then here you go, got a run with nobody out. Got speed on the bases at Kubica too.
And has really swung since the top of the second. This one hit out to left field, a bullet and diving, and Strausberger also having trouble with that tough left field sun. He came in and then he kind of lost it for a second and dove in front of him and managed to come up with the line drive. That was struck hard by Chavez.
And you wonder, sometimes when players hit a ball like that, sometimes it'll knuckle in the air, and almost that might have been what was going on there, but nice job by Strasburg, got eye level with it.
Speaking of knuckling, we saw a knuckleballer last night. I thought that inning was going to go on and on as Richard Mariano Jr. came in. Felt like my knuckleball was a little bit better.
Yeah, that was rough. You never want to have a knuckleballer in with the bases loaded and less than 2 outs.
Well, let's have Derek Norris. Norris struck out his first time up, but he has been hitting well lately, and this one is low and in. Was hit by a pitch yesterday. I shouldn't say hit by a pitch. He had a pitch thrown behind him, and a little retaliation, which I thought was a bit much.
Some hit by pitch attempts are a little more obvious than others, and that one seemed to be quite obvious.
The 1-0. I think even if you hit a guy with a fastball in the shoulder, as much as that hurts, I think it's mentally more offensive to throw behind a guy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, because it's just, like I said, I mean, it just really kind of hammers on the point that you're being thrown at intentionally. I mean, if you get hit in the shoulder, you're obviously going to be pretty upset, but it's a lot easier to know when you get the ball behind you.
2 balls and no strikes here to Norris. He came in at 250, a home run, and 9 RBIs. The 2-0 here by the right-hander Wagman is chopped foul. Back behind home plate, 2 balls and 1 strike to count, 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. Skeeters have tied it here at 3-3.
Seen PP pretty aggressive. I have to wonder maybe if Kyle Kubica on the move here, hit and run, or maybe just a straight steal attempt. He's had a pretty sizable lead over there at first base.
I agree 100%. I think he's going here, and Kubica is a guy that does have speed. I think people kind of forget that. And this is a perfect hit and run count. 2-1 with 1 out, game tied. Let's see if he goes. He does not. This one low and away as Green shifts to his right and to his knees. That'll put the count at 3-1 now. A lot of managers like to run in this. I hate it for 2 reasons. First of all, if Norris swings and misses and the guy gets thrown out at second, it would have been a 3-2 count anyway and a much better hit and run.
Yeah, and with a guy like Norris at the plate too, I mean, he's been red hot lately finding gaps. I mean, he finds a gap here, Kubica theoretically probably would score pretty easily, so I agree with you on that.
Kubica does not go here. This one low and away, ball 4. And Skeeters in business once again here. First and second, 1 away for the red-hot Albert Cordero. He already has a single and a run scored in this one. He's 1 for 1. First walk issued by Wagman, who has also been right around the plate tonight. And this is what the Skeeters do to starters. They wear you out. Long counts, walks, lots of hits. And Cordero steps in. And at the beginning of the year, we were thinking, where is the Skeeters' power going to come from? Maybe they should go sign a power hitter, but I guess they just got off to a little bit of a slow start. Where they have 2 home runs through the first 5 games?
Yeah, and I mean, it really has been Courtney Hawkins and Albert Cordero. I mean, they've both been hitting them out like crazy lately.
And the Skeeters lead the league in home runs. 20 home runs in 20 games. This is low and in. If the Skeeters should lead the league by the end of the year in home runs, I mean, that is quite a feat. They've never come close, especially because this is such a pitcher-friendly park.
Yeah, for me, it really started that last game against Somerset. We saw Kibitza hit the 2 home runs, including the grand slam. Coco also went yard that day, too. So that seemed to kind of trim the needle as far as the home runs go.
This one is low. 2 balls and no strikes to count to number 3, Albert Cordero. It's about that great blend of speed and power. 20 home runs, 14 steals. They do have to get their steal percentage up. They have stolen 14 bases, but they've been caught 11 times. And without looking, although you might know this off the top of your head, we talk about the on-base percentage of a lot of these guys. Where would you say the team on-base percentage is?
Well, it's already
engraved
because I'm gonna guess here. You didn't see me look. It's 382, right?
That's exactly what it is. That's unbelievable.
Cool.
I mean, that's a good, for an individual, that's really good,
exactly.
Let alone a team.
I was gonna say. I mean, I meant to bring that up at one point in the broadcast. I mean, that is pretty incredible when you have your whole team averaging that for an on-base percentage.
You're getting on base 38% of the time.
And the Skeeters as a team lead it in all 3 slash categories, so they're leading in average, on-base percentage, and slugging. I mean, it really doesn't get much better than that if you're for offense. What would be the pitching equivalent for that? Leading in ERA, innings pitched, strikeouts.
And least amount of walks.
That's I mean, that's something.
3-1 pitch here. Good hitters count. Wagman spins towards second. Almost balked there. Wagman in some hot water here. A 3-1 count. So Cordero is going to be sitting on this pitch, and if he misses, it's ball 4 and the bases are loaded with only 1 down.
So pitch number 46 for Wagman as well. So nearing that 50 mark.
He's only in the 3rd. Just only 1 away. The 3-1. Cordero swings and sends it through the left side for a base hit. See if they wave around Kibitza. They will. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's going to be late. It hits Kibitza. Both of the other runners advance. Skeeters take their first lead, 4-3, second and third, and still only 1 out. It should be a single, and Cordero will get an RBI, advances the second on the throw home, and Kibitza comes around to score. Norris at third.
I like the aggressiveness there too, sending Kibitza. He's got great speed. You force a throw at the plate, and hits Kibitza, the ball goes away. Now you got 2 runners in scoring position, still with 1 out.
Skeeters with the lead here. And we're getting to see the first plate appearance for Mr. Gomez. Rolando Gomez, who came in to run for Jan Santi, who left with looks like a calf injury. Skeeters with a pair last inning, a pair here, and we'll erase the 3-0 deficit, lead 4-3 here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's one high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Gomez just 5'7", 145, and yikes.
Yeah, might make it comprise the smallest double play combo in the Atlantic League, maybe in professional baseball, honestly.
I know Rondon looks like he's a beefy guy at 5'10", 160 next to that. The 1-0. This one is a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. 1 out, 2 in, 2 on. Skeeters with a 4-3 lead. Again, they erased a 3-0 deficit.
Gotta be nice too, make your first at bat with runners in second and third here, an opportunity to kind of give them the good graces of these fans here with give a pat of that lead a little bit.
The 1-1, swung and missed, and a ball low and in. Good pitch there by Wagman. 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Gomez last appeared in a professional level in 2016 for the Evansville Otters in the Frontier League. Selected by the Angels in the 9th round in 2008. Was right out of high school in Florida. There's one swung and missed. Strike 3 as Gomez goes down. That is the 3rd strikeout of the game for Wagman. Now 2 on, 2 out, 2 in. Skeeters leading 4-3, and Courtney Hawkins will step in. Mr. RBI himself. He already has 2 RBIs in this game, and Hawkins yesterday had 4. So 6 in not even a game and a half.
And both at bats today has come over the guys on second and third. I mean, you can't really draw much better than that.
No, and he's the guy you want up right now. That'll be 4 RBIs 2 games in a row if he can get a base hit here with 2 down. Runners on second and third. This one swung and missed, and a ball low and away, 0-1. Just to reset, Norris at third, Cordero at second.
Probably a smart move by Mr. Wagman to give him a breaking ball there on the first pitch instead of firing a fastball, and Courtney was going to be ready for it if he delivered it.
Probably a good call. Open stance on the right side for Hawkins. Wagman's pitch count starting to get up there. 51 pitches, 34 for strike. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Remember, his start in game 1 was the longest of the year by far, and that was 91. And I don't know if you're going to get 90 out of him today. Might not have any choice. That bullpen is blown out. Shadows now almost all the way across the infield. They set up outside. The 0-2 check swing. He does not go. 1-2 on number 1-2, Courtney Hawkins. Hawkins 247, 5 home runs, and 21 RBIs. Excuse me, 25 RBIs. They set up outside the 1-2. Way inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 on and 2 in here. Skeeters have a 1-run lead, 4-3. Hawkins asks for timeout. Needs to adjust the glasses.
Still wanted to ask him about that because he's always rocking the glasses. They kind of look like they're sunglasses, but they're obviously not because they'll wear them at night too. So they're prescription of some sort.
So what they set up here? They're going to set up outside. The 2-2. Swung and missed, strike 3. So Wagman gets out of any further damage with 2 strikeouts to end it. to the booth here. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Enjoying a close game thus far. And Skeeters rallied back from an early 2-run deficit.
Nice to go to the pen and pull another broadcaster out of it. Ryan went 3. You know, he'd been coming out of the bullpen, so he didn't have stamina to go the full 5. And you come in, you get as a good long relief, go the distance.
I'm serving as the long reliever tonight. Yes, sir.
Oh, Edwin Garcia leading off here. The first pitch, a strike, 0-1. Kalika Kahu'o'ala up deck. And this one hits us short. And man, the Skeeters have clanged a few balls today. A backhand attempt by Rondon. The usually sure-handed Rondon might have his second error of the game, and it'll be the 3rd overall for Sugar Land. So yeah, they score that one. Nothing on the board as of yet, but I would guess, even though he had a backhand, it would be an E. That would end the string of 5 straight either way, retired by Talbot.
Well, you said it, the Skeeters defense just not helping Talbot out tonight. Southern Maryland has 3 runs, but could be less than that for sure.
And they will score that a single. Okay, so it will not be the second error of the night. Garcia now 2 for 2.
It was a sharply hit ball, but you definitely feel like Rondon had a chance on that.
Kau'o'ala trying to break an 0 for 16 slide to start the season. Had a sack bunt his first time up, so no official plate appearances. There's one right down the middle for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
Kau'o'ala has never played affiliated ball. First professional action was in his home state of Hawaii and Maui with the North American League.
I still have been searching for the name of how to pronounce that team, and it is much worse than trying to pronounce his name. This one is swung and missed, 1 and 2.
Well, pronouncing his name is pretty difficult, so I agree with you, though. Looking at the team, I'm like, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that on air.
Need a translation, a Hawaii to English dictionary, I think. Skeeters up 4-3 here in the top of the 4th. Talbot will have to work out of a jam here. Leadoff single, throw to first. Diving back in is Garcia.
Ryan made a really good point in Kau'o'ala's first at-bat that, you know, when you have a slump in the beginning of the season, it feels like it's a lot harder to get out of, and it's definitely more noticeable. Alex Bregman with the Astros obviously has turned out to be a great player for them, but he started out 0 for 31 in his MLB career.
The 1-2 here by Talbot. This one is, whoa, wow, I thought it had it at the knees, just a little low, I guess, 2-2.
Now Talbot, and obviously solid numbers all season. His team has given him the lead. Definitely helps out a pitcher coming from behind.
The 2-2. This one low and away. I'll run the count full 3-2. And I'm going to do my best for the team he played for. So it's the Maui na Koa Ika Ika. I think that's close.
That's pretty solid.
It's Maui, which you know how to spell M-A-U-I, then N-A, then a new word, K-O-A, new word I-K-A-I-K-A. That's my best attempts. And wise move by Talbot, the veteran, throws over again Garcia with a 3-2 count. Now, granted, there's nobody out, so not the perfect hit and run count, but Garcia certainly has speed. They're only down 1 here. I don't know if I would risk it personally. And his lead is lengthening. Shadows all the way across the infield and right fielder. Kyle Kibitz, another throw to first by Talbot, and again, diving back in is Garcia. Now, not that a third base coach ever stands in the box, but James Frisbee, the manager and third base coach for the Blue Crabs, he couldn't be any further away from it. Payoff pitch. This one is swung and hit up the middle. Charging it is Rondon. His only play is at first with Garcia on the move. 6-3 on the putout. 1 down, 1 on. Runner in scoring position back to the top of the order with Johnny Bladell, who has singled, scored, and reached on error by Rondon. Bladell, I'm sorry, Will.
No problem.
comes in an even 400, a home run, and 12 RBIs.
Only 2 for 15 in this series coming in, but got a hit earlier in this game, so maybe he's starting to figure things out against a very talented Sugar Land Skeeters pitching staff.
Lynn steps the right-hand hitting second baseman. First pitch here. This one a strike on the outside corner. What was that you dug out yesterday in the Pecos League? He hit like 500 and changed in, what was it, 40 or 80 games, something like that?
Yeah, he had 558 in about 50 games.
Yikes.
In the Pecos League in Colorado.
It was something like 80-something for a 160.
Insane numbers.
No balls and one strike to count here on Bladell. This one swung and a missed. Jeff Allen, the Skeeters' third catcher, actually played in that league. And Chris Tribbett, who is on the Road Warriors, former Scooter, actually played, pitched, and managed one of those teams in the Pecos League.
So listen to this, 86 for 166, 518 average, 13 homers, 55 RBIs, 22 doubles in 48 games.
That's unbelievable. Nobody wanted to pick him up. The 0-2. This one is swung and hit into right field. Long run by Kibitze. Have to play it on a hop. So going to third now is Garcia. Now runners on the corners with one down as the left-hand hitting first baseman Devin Rodriguez steps in. Norris will stand in front of the plate and flash a few signs in case the runner at first, Bladell, decides to steal if they're going to throw through or not. Bladell on base for the third time, 2 singles and reached on an error.
Devin Rodriguez, much like Bladell, hasn't gotten a shot with affiliated ball yet. Graduated from Cal in 2014. Pretty good senior year, 284 in his senior season at Cal, but went undrafted.
We're going to get a visit to the mound by Skeeters pitching coach Corey Dommel. Well, time for a little Baseball 101 with This Day in Baseball History, brought to you by Texas State Technical College in Fort Bend County. Make your own history by earning your associate degree at TSTC. Visit tstc.edu to learn more. Well, on This Day in Baseball History, May 19th, we go back to 1941. Lefty Grove wins his 12th consecutive game at Fenway Park, the longest home park winning streak in the big leagues. The Southpaw starter establishes the new record when the Red Sox defeat the Tigers 4-2. That's a look at our Texas State Technical College This Day in Baseball History.
Fenway Park is one heck of a place, let me tell you.
A lot of history.
You've never been to a game at Fenway, have you?
I've taken a tour, but I've never seen a game there. There's one a strike on the inside corner. I can tell you my good Fenway Park story. So I go decked head to toe in Yankee gear. So, of course, the tour guide was bothering me the whole time. Yankee guy this, Yankee guy that. I'm like, all right, buddy, just wait. So this is the winter of 2004. The 86-year curse is still in effect. They would break that when that season started, so I'd never be able to do it again. So I'm glad I got it in. So we get to the front gate, and the tour guide's going to thank everybody for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. Any last questions? I raise my hand. Yankee guy, yeah, what? It's like, so when do we get to see the trophy room? I'm a little disappointed. He's like, what? You know where you keep all the world championship trophies? Like, oh, very funny, smart guy. The 0-1, this one served out to center field, and a little blooper coming in is Hawkins. He dives for it, Barnes. And did he come up with it? Either way, tagging and coming home is Garcia. Did he trap it or did he catch it?
I think he trapped it because, wait a minute.
He's slapping his glove. Pete Incaviglia is going to come out, and I think he's going to argue this one. Yes, he is. I thought he caught it. I'm certainly hard to see from here. And, yep, Pete's going to get the umpires to converge and talk about this. In fact, he's going to go out and ask Eric Davis what he saw, because he was the closest to it. What did you think, naked eye?
I mean, like you said, from our vantage point, it's pretty tough to see, but it did not look like the ball hit the ground. It looked like Barnes made a remarkable catch in shallow left center field.
Well, Pete's going to get them to talk about it. I don't know if they'll change his mind. Oh, what's going on there? All three umpires are going to converge and discuss this now. I really did think he caught it.
Yeah, I did too. And normally bang bang like that, you're going to give it to.
This might be reversed because they're going to call out James Frisbee, the manager for the Blue Crabs. I have a feeling they're going to call this a catch and an out, and that Frisbee might lose his patience. One of these situations, you're going to make somebody upset.
Well, it's going to be interesting because did Edwin Garcia leave third base
Oh.
before Barnes caught the ball?
Skeeters got nabbed on that recently.
Because I got to admit, like, when I looked up after it appeared Barnes caught the ball, Edwin Garcia was already halfway home.
No, I think they're going to say that he caught it because he is arguing. James Frisbee's pointing towards the Skeeters dugout. If he's saying maybe that Pete convinced you guys to change it, well, it looks like this is going to change. Who needs a replay review? And they're going to call it an out. And I think it's the right call.
Yeah,
I'm glad
too.
they talked about it. I really did think he caught it. So we'll go down as a sac fly RBI, not a single. So that also means Rodriguez is out. Now he will come off of first. Bladell will stay at first. A sac fly RBI for Rodriguez, his second of the game, his 8th of the season.
Does now tie the game, though.
Yep.
Something positive came out of that for Southern Maryland.
Ryan Strasburger steps in. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI of his own. Throw to first. Talbot almost gets Bladell leading. Bladell has speed. This team does not have much speed at all. The Blue Crabs have stolen just 7 bases in 20 games.
3 of those from Bladell.
And they've been caught 8 times. And now Frisbee might get tossed out of this game as the home plate umpire, Reggie Liggins, calls for time. And he goes over to speak to Frisbee in the third base coaching box. And this might get ugly quickly here. Now he stops jawing, and Liggins still talking to him. And I think Frisbee's telling him, hey, this is what I thought. Just go back there. Oh, he's coming back again. And what's he noting in his book? This I don't get.
Maybe an official warning?
Well, Liggins will come back. Liggins actually lives here in Sugar Land. And you always know when he's driving past you because his license plate says Liggins. So there's no question that it's his car. So Talbot still ready to deliver the first pitch to Strasburger after the throw over. And Bladell has a huge lead at first. This one hit into right center field. Kubica is there, and he'll bring it down, and that'll hit. So could have been much worse. Nobody got tossed. Everything worked out in the end. But the Blue Crabs get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. And through 3.5 innings of play, we have a brand new game. We're tied at 4. Oh, we move to the bottom of the fourth. Blue Crabs get a run in the top half of this inning as this seesaw battle goes back and forth. Blue Crabs got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. They led 3-0. Skeeters countered with a pair in both the second and third and took a 4-3 lead briefly. And here in the top of this inning, that sac fly RBI gives the Blue Crabs a tie ball game at 4-4, and that's where we stand here. Skeeters will try to take that lead back by sending up the bottom of the order here in the bottom of the fourth. 7, 8, and 9, Barrett Barnes, Dennis Phipps, and Alvaro Rondon. Barnes struck out his first time up. He is 0 for 1. And he gets hit on the back, and this might be a warning right here. And this is probably carryover from yesterday, and great job by home plate umpire Reggie Liggins. He jumped out in front of Barnes to make sure he didn't charge the mound. That is great umpiring.
Well, you know, first pitch, that at bat, really no doubt in my mind that was intentional from Wagman. You mentioned it yesterday. It got very chippy early yesterday. We didn't see an official warning issued to the Blue Crabs when Britton threw at Derek Norris.
Well, this might get really ugly here for these next 2 games because Norris was thrown at really, it had nothing to do with the Skeeters starter yesterday. By accident, Grisette hit a batter. Now, he hit Bladale in the hand by accident, but it was on a 1-2 pitch. That was not the intent. Now, Bladale had a lead, so they felt they had to retaliate because he had to leave the game with an injury, which was really not the right thing to do. So Norris gets thrown at yesterday, and really, if you think about anything, it was the Skeeters who owe the Blue Crabs a payback, and now it is the Skeeters who get hit, so you might see some retaliation somewhere in this game as well. And then after the out did not go their way, the first batter gets hit. And now, arguing here is Phipps. What was he arguing about?
He's pointing over at Barnes at first base. Maybe frustrated that Wyman didn't get thrown out of the game.
1 ball and 1 strike to count here to Phipps, who lined out sharply to right field his first time up. The 1-1 by the right-hander Wagman. This one swung and missed at a ball low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mr. Phipps.
You mentioned that the Skeeters may retaliate, but we talked off air before the game. Pete Incavilla, class guy, he's going to bring in class players. So I don't know if Pete would support retaliation, but really just we've seen some very unclassy moves from the Blue Crabs in this series thrown at some Skeeters.
This pitch here will be pitch number 70 already by Wagman. This one is just off the outside corner. Wow, that was close. 2-2.
It's nice to see Dennis Phipps get going last night. Starting the series 1 for 12, 3 for 4 last night, 5 RBIs.
And our player of the game, the 2-2 by the right-hander. Swung and hit slowly to the left of second. That's going to get through for a base hit. And the Skeeters in good position here, and I'm going to bet everything I own that Rondon bunts here with first and second in a tie game here in the fourth.
Well, hey, that's how you retaliate getting hit by a pitch. You just get hits. You don't hit them back. You just get hits off these guys. And that's what Pete Incavilla wants to do, and that's what this team wants to do. In a tie game right now, that's huge from Phipps.
Well, this is the left-handed hitting shortstop, Alvaro Rondon, who tripled and scored. In his only at bat, here comes James Frisbee. And as he comes out, a couple of pitchers in the crab shack down there to start to scramble. So this is a stall, as kind of thought Wagman might be running out of time here, and they're going to have a meeting on the mound. I think this might be both to get somebody warm and defensive strategy in case Rondon bunts here. Rondon and the Skeeters third base coach Juice also talking how to kind of counter that.
Well, you know, Joey Wagman was doing well as a reliever to start the year. 3 of his first 4 outings had been scoreless. Move him into a starting role, really struggled the other day.
Well, he didn't have a chance to really kind of slowly adjust to it. He threw 10 pitches in his first relief appearance, then 26, then 30, then 22, and then in game 1 he has to throw 78 pitches, and now he's over 70 here. In steps Rondon. Let's see if he squares here. He does. And he takes it high and outside for a ball 1-0.
Well, you know, you talked to Ben Gersett earlier, and it's tough for a reliever to adjust to that starting role. Ben Gersett had a whole offseason, but Joey Wagman, they move him into that starting role in just a couple days.
The 1-0 here to Rondon. They'll set him outside, and he squares and takes this one outside 2-0. And this is the problem with bunting. First of all, the pitcher doesn't want you to throw anything good that you can bunt, but by doing that, he digs himself a hole. And the bunter can't get anything to bunt. Got to take till he gets a strike here. The 2-0. Nope, squares again, takes it low 3-0. Might not have to bunt here. Got to take at least one.
Much like Phipps, Rondon was struggling. 2 for 14 in this series coming into yesterday's game, but 2 for 3 yesterday. 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. So he's normally going to bunt in this situation, but after yesterday, who knows?
And now time called. 4 runs on 7 hits for both teams. Skeeters have made a pair of errors. The Blue Crabs have not. Now everybody in the shade except for center fielder Corey Vaughn. The 3-0, he squares and bunts through a low pitch. Kind of surprised he wasn't taking there, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. 3-0 count. He's a pretty smart hitter. Maybe he had the green light from Pete, maybe catch the Blue Crabs off guard.
Good hitters count. Let's see if he's bunting or swinging away here. And Wagman spins towards second. Barnes dives back in head first, but nobody there. Wagman now at 65 pitches, 40 for strikes. Action continues in the Blue Crabs bullpen. The 3-1. Squares to bunt here and gets one down, a pretty good one. Ball dead, and the only throw is to first, and he beats it out. Wow, does he have speed. That wasn't even a great bunt. Now, he deadened the ball extremely well with backspin, but it stopped a little past halfway towards the mound. I mean, Wagman didn't have to go far. By the time he picked it up, the ball stopping, the speedy Rondon beats it out. So a triple he legs out probably in about 10 seconds in his first at bat. Here he beats out a bunt.
Yeah, and Wagman had a pretty good play on that ball. Got it over to first quickly, but that just shows you how fast Rondon is. Bases juice for Kyle Kubica.
And nobody out. Kubica had an RBI single last time up. He's also grounded out and scored a run. Gives him a chance to bust it open here. First pitch here to the Skeeters' left-handed hitting right fielder. Swung and fouled off to the left side. No balls and 1 strike to count.
You'd like to see Kyle Kubica just 3 for 19 in this series. Come up clutch for the Skeeters right here. Chance to take the lead.
Kubica with the bases loaded this year, 1 for 2 with 5 RBIs. No balls and 1 strike here. The 0-1, check swing, down low, 1-1. Nice job by Green, smothered that ball in the dirt. 4-4 your score here in the bottom of the 4th. I would say deuce is wild, 4s are wilds. Fans coming alive here. Bases loaded, nobody out in a tie game here in the 4th. The 1-1. Swung and hit high, deep down the right field line, but it's going to hook foul. Fans thought that might be a grand slam there for a second, but just strike 2, 1 and 2 now on Kyle.
Yeah, the fans here were ready to jump out of their seats. Thought that might have been 4 runs for the Skeeters. Just hooked a little bit right of that Arrow Plumbing foul pole in right field.
Wagman, this pitch will be pitch number 70. 43 strikes, 26 balls. They set up inside the 1-2. 1 low, 2 and 2.
This is a tough position to be in for Wagman. You got the bases loaded, nobody out, and you're pitching to the top of the Skeeters lineup. Just trying to keep the Blue Crabs in the game right now.
The 2-2 from the right-hander. This one is just off the outside corner. Kubica has a great eye. That was a close pitch. Tough take, but a nice move there by Kubica. That'll run the count full 3-2. There's nowhere to put Kubica. Bases loaded, nobody out. Big pitch in this game. Wagman fires it home, and this one is swung and chopped foul at the plate. Kubica, great at bat. We'll see a 7th pitch.
Looked like they might have hit Kubica after he made contact with the ball. Appears fine, though.
That ricocheted off his thigh. So we'll do the 3-2 again. Another big moment here for Wagman. Wagman gets the sign here from his catcher, Austin Green. Green sets up away, and again the payoff pitch, swung and foul back again. And we'll see an 8th pitch here.
Kyle Kubica continues to battle in this at bat. Was down in the count. He's forced a couple payoff pitches here.
Kubica, the former big leaguer, spent a little bit of time with the Angels. Has a play with Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, a host of others. 3rd straight payoff pitch here to Kubica. Swung and served out to deep left center field. Going back to the track, to the wall, and he got it all. A grand slam for Kyle Kubica. 5 RBIs on the day, and it is now an 8-4 Skeeters lead.
Unbelievable. Kyle Kubica struggling in this series, but not anymore. The grand slam, and you know, we thought earlier, Ira, that his shot to right field might have been out, hooked a little bit foul, but he battled through that at bat. 8th pitch, took it to left field over the wall, and the Skeeters were down 2 early in this game, now up 4.
Yeah, it's going to be all for Wagman. You knew that was coming. So Wagman will exit this game. Skeeters busted open here in a big way. They lead 8-4, and there is still nobody out here in the 4th. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll find out who the new Blue Crabs pitcher is when we return in a moment.
Now into pitch for the Blue Crabs. Going to be Paul Clemens. Number 16, 6'3", 215-pound righty from Columbia, South Carolina. His last action was with Chattanooga. But he's a former major leaguer, and this season through 2 games he has a 6.75 ERA 2 runs on 2 hits, and 2 2/3 innings pitched with 6 strikeouts.
Now the book officially closed here on the starter Wagman. Wagman throws 74 pitches, 46 of them for strikes, 3 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, all earned, a walk and 4 strikeouts. He went 3 1/3 last time out. This time he only gets through 3+, so does not get an out here in the 4th. A hit by a pitch, a single, a bunt single, and a grand slam by Kyle Kubica. Still nobody out for Matt Chavez. Chavez 0 for 2. He's grounded at the short and lined out to left. Fastball strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count.
Clemens was drafted by the Braves in the 36th round of the 07 draft. Excuse me, he was drafted by the Giants in 07 and then the Braves in 2008.
So on a strike on the outside corner, 0 2. We'll mention a former big leaguer.
I think we mentioned this the other night, but he lost to former Astro Andy Pettitte in Pettitte's final game.
The 0 2. There's one high and outside. 1 2. Spent time with the Astros in 2013 and 2014, and then the Marlins and Padres in 2016. Pitched well at Chattanooga last year. Kind of surprised he didn't get called back. Lookouts now part of the Twins organization. This one high and outside, 2 2. You mentioned the 3-0 record, 287 ERA, even had a couple of saves.
Ben Grissett, who he talked to before the game, that's really solid numbers in Binghamton with the Mets AA affiliate.
The 2 2. High and outside, 3 2. That's the only thing you could look at. Affiliated teams always look for hard throws. He only struck out 42 in 53 innings, and the walk total a little high at 23. That's almost a walk every other inning.
Do you understand that, or do you think teams overlook how fast a player can pitch?
2 and after the 3-2. This one fouled into the screen. We'll do the 3-2 again. I think there's something to it. I mean, in this day and age, I think you need guys that throw hard. But that being said, there are exceptions, and I think those are overlooked a lot. I mean, some guys have, 5-6 pitches. They have a great off-speed pitch. I mean, would Jamie Moyer be pitching in this day and age? I mean, it'd be a shame, as well as he had off-speed stuff. There are guys, did Greg Maddux blow you away with 98 miles an hour? No, never. But he had great control. He threw, 94 to 95 consistently. I just think you have to look past some of those numbers, even some of the sabermetric numbers. I mean, there are times where guys are signed without a scout going out based on the sabermetric numbers. Again, the payoff pitch. This time it is swung and missed by Chavez. Chavez 0 for 3 now. That is the first out here in the 4th after 4 is scored. Barnes got hit to start the inning. Dennis Phipps got a single. Then Alvaro Rondon with some great hustle beat out a bunt for a single. Then the grand slam by Kubica. I'm sure the boot will be passed there. In steps Derek Norris, who has struck out and walked. I tell you, if he gets hit again, he's going to lose his patience. This one is low and away, 1-0.
Derek Norris coming into this game in this series, 5 for 13. Good. That's good for a 384 average. 5 walks in those first 5 games, 1 double and 2 RBIs.
This one is hammered down the left field line over the head of Kahu Oala and into the left field corner. This is going to be a double here for Norris, who just drilled that ball down the left side. That'll bring up Albert Cordero with 1 out. Cordero, another great night, 2 for 2, 2 singles, a run scored, and an RBI.
5th double of the season for Derek Norris, and now you got Cordero up. Like you mentioned, 2 for 2 tonight. He's batting .521 in this series.
Well, he came in at .380, 5 home runs and 16 RBIs. Good for 4th in the Atlantic League with that average.
8 RBIs in first 5 games of this series against the Blue Crabs.
He has been an RBI machine this year. The switch hitter batting here from the left side against the former big leaguer and right-hander Clemens. This one gets away from the catcher Green, about 12 feet to his right, but no advance by Norris as Green jumped on that one quickly. Skeeters 8 runs, 9 hits, and a pair of errors. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Blue Crabs. Skeeters just pounding out runs in this series. Let's see now with the runs tonight here. Let me do a little bit of quick math. They have outscored the Blue Crabs 55-30 in this series so far. And this one swung and a miss, but off to the races was Norris, and Derek swipes third. With only 1 out, that's huge. A sac fly could give the Skeeters another run. Wow.
First stolen base of the season from Norris.
I mean, I know you can take a chance up 4 runs, but kind of surprising.
Gotta love it.
I guess that's just the veteran, even though there's a big league pitcher on the mound, and he's a right-hander, so Norris smart enough to know that he was not paying attention to him. The 0-2 hit to Cordero. This one right down the middle. Big breaking ball. Catches the heart of the zone. Catches Cordero. There's 2 outs, so now it'll take a 2-out hit to get Norris in from third. But the Skeeters are up 8-4 with 4 runs in here in the bottom of the 4th, courtesy of a Kubica grand slam. That's Clemens' strikeout. Second. Strikeout 2 of the 3 batters he has faced. Bringing Rolando Gomez, who came in for the hurt Anthony Jansanti. He's 1 for 2 so far with a double and a run scored. Correction, he is 0 for 1. Jansanti had the double. He struck out in his first plate appearance as a member of the Skeeters.
You hate to see Jansanti get hurt, but it's good to see Gomez getting some playing time.
Gomez just 5'7", 145. Even you got away more than he does. And you're not exactly Hercules.
Believe it or not, I do not weigh more than he does. Like you said, I'm definitely not Hercules.
The 0-1. This one swung and missed. 0-2.
Gomez spent 6 years in the Angels organization, reaching as high as Double-A with Arkansas in 2013, and that season with Arkansas at 252, 28 RBIs. He's played with 3 independent teams since. This is his first action since 2016 with Evansville in the American Association.
Should Gomez reach here, the Skeeters would bat around. And now Clemens steps off here. Skeeters up 8-4 here. So the Maryland got 2 in the first, 1 in the second, led 3-0. The Skeeters got 2 in the second, 2 in the third, tied it at 4-4. The top of this inning, the Blue Crabs, the Skeeters took the 4-3 lead. The Blue Crabs tied it in the top of this inning, and what a big bender by Clemens as he strikes out the side to end this inning. But not before the Skeeters get a big blow from Kyle Kubica, his grand slam. Your score through 4. It is the Skeeters 8 and the Blue Crabs 4.
How's it going, everybody? We got Swatson here, the best mascot in the Atlantic League and in my heart. Parents, I bet you tell your kids to floss all the time. Say yes. Well, now it's time for the kids to teach the parents how to floss. All right, we're going to do it. We'll take it one by one. Arms to the right, hips to the left. And then swing in front, back, then the other way. And then back. It's a very confusing motion. All right? Kids, take it away. Okay, arms to the right. Arms to the right. Arms to the right, parents. Arms to the right. And then to the left. Swing. There you go. And then bring it back. There you go. And then go back, reverse it. Hiya. And then do this. I can only do it with one hand because I have a microphone. All right, ready? And then speed it up. Go.
We move to the top of the 5th as my partner, Will Scott, dances his way into the top. Those are impressive moves.
I mean, what can I say?
Well,
you should have seen me at prom last year.
No. That must not have been pretty. Your poor date. Did she have to carry you? Was her back hurting by the end of the night from carrying you dancing all night?
No comment.
All right. I rest my case. This one is a little bit low. 1-0. Courtney Hawkins, other side, Angelo Sanko, Teodoro Martinez, and Corey Vaughn. So far, Sanko has fouled out twice. Once to deep left field, once to third. There's one fouled off, 1 ball and 1 strike. Skeeters are leading 8-4, courtesy of a Kyle Kubica grand salami. I believe that was a kosher salami. Salami.
You're a New Yorker. Of course you like salami.
Of course, I'm a big deli guy. This one is skied into center field, fairly deep. Barnes going back, still going back near the warning track, reaches up and hauls it in like a wide receiver. So 1 down, none on. That'll bring in Teodoro Martinez, who had an infield single and was the only strikeout victim of the game by Talbot. Now has a 4-run cushion to work with. And I got to think, Mitch was not getting a lot of breaks. He was not getting a lot of fielding help. I think with a 4-run lead, it's going to be on cruise control here. Skeeters' bullpen is barren. Skeeters leading 8-4. Martinez steps in. He came in batting .333 with no home runs and 1 RBI. First pitch here is low and away. Gets past Norris. 1 ball and no strikes to count.
Teodoro Martinez is the brother of Jose Martinez, who's having an all-star caliber season for the Cardinals right now.
And Ryan, we're talking about that. He's got some pretty good numbers. Was he hitting like 320 or something?
320
like
with 5 homers, 28 RBIs.
This one through the right side for a base hit. A 1 on and 1 out here. That'll bring in Corey Vaughn. Skeeters 8 runs on 10 hits. The Blue Crabs 4 runs on 7. Skeeters have committed a pair of errors. The Blue Crabs have not, but as the Skeeters were up big here.
Corey Vaughn 3 of 18 in this series. All 3 of those hits came on Wednesday. 3 for 3 night that night.
Maybe it was 3-hit Wednesday.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe he only gets hits once a week, and they're always on Wednesday. You know, the midweek, hump day, gets him through the week. In steps Vaughn. Now, everybody is in the shade as the sun has officially gone down. What time is it now? 7:57, so almost 8 o'clock and still plenty of daylight. Really like this time of year, especially when you get to, you know, late June and, you know, it's like almost 10 o'clock and it's still light out. Gotta like it. What's going on here? Is this Frisbee? Yep, James Frisbee, the manager for the Blue Crabs, arguing with the third base umpire, Eric Davis, who has come all the way from second base. And I think Frisbee eventually is going to get tossed from this game. He's clearly frustrated with some stuff and his team not playing well.
Well, he's arguing about that Devin Rodriguez, what he thought was a single earlier in this game. It's caught by Barnes, obviously. They reversed the call. But James Frisbee spent a lot of time in this series at that little third base box of his arguing.
And now he's got his hands crossed, and he is nose to nose with Eric Davis. And I think this is a matter of time. Yep. And he's gone. You can see that coming. Now Reggie Liggins, the home plate umpire, is going to go out to assist here. And I think James, as they say, home James, wants it out of here. Now he is screaming. And third base umpire Eric Davis has Reggie Liggins run some interference, and now he's in the face of Liggins. And
well, let me say this. It's about time. We've talked this whole series, Ira, about these umpires not being tough enough. And Eric Davis, easy decision throwing Frisbee out of this game. And Frisbee may have to be escorted off the field by one of his former coaches, but well, there he is. There he goes.
Now it's first base coach Joe Walsh, who kind of assisted there as the Boo Birds come out here. Will Farrell from the other guys talking about his big boy pants. I love that scene. So we're waiting for an ejection in this series, and we finally seen it.
It's kind of a bizarre time. He just between pitches. I don't know what he was arguing right there.
I think that was just carryover from that sack, fly / hit, and other things that have gone on in this series. It's usually never about one
you
thing.
can't blame that one play for the Skeeters scoring 8 runs in the past 3 innings.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. I think, you know, the Skeeters hammered these Blue Crabs yesterday 17-3. They're down 8-4 again. They've been outscored in this series now 55-30. It's a combination of things, and Frisbee still in the dugout. I don't think he's gotten his last licks in here yet. Home plate umpire Reggie Liggins staring in the dugout. He can't continue until Frisbee leaves the field, and he's going to walk all the way across the field and out of the ballpark down the right field line. Now it looks like Joe Walsh will take over at third. Where is Frisbee? Is he leaving? There he is. I think he got his golf bag with him.
Oh, it's still light out. He can hit up one of the courses nearby.
He's going to take his coffee to go. Literally, I'm not making that up. He's really taking his coffee. He's got a UT bag on. I'll hook 'em horns, I guess.
Must be a lot of Aggie fans in attendance because he is getting booed.
Now he takes his hat off and waves the booing fans.
This is unbelievable. He's walking down the first baseline as we speak with his Starbucks coffee and University of Texas athletic bag.
It was entertaining, if anything. So baseball will actually resume here as Corey Vaughn has a 0-1 count on him. Vaughn has grounded into a fielder's choice and flat out to left. Skeeters up 8-4 here in the top half of the 5th inning. This one is fouled off to the right side. You know, if you got dinner plans, Will, you might want to make them for a little later. We have not played any short games. Yesterday, 3 hours and 18 minutes. The day before, 3:30. Day before that wasn't bad at 2:49, but 3:10. All these games have been pretty much over 3 hours and change.
I wanted to go get some crawfish after the game last night, but it closed 10 minutes after I got there.
Where'd you go?
It's a little place in Greatwood called, I think it's...
No. We're not getting any endorsements here.
I think it's Suti. It's actually a Japanese place, but they sell crawfish. Pretty good.
Wow. See, that wouldn't be my first choice for crawfish. We got an Cajun place, and we got Floyd's. They're one of our sponsors. They're right here, too.
I'm going to Floyd's next time.
There you go. Got to teach you everything.
And I hate to call myself a Louisiana boy because I wasn't born there, never lived there, but big Tiger fan, so I need to discover more crawfish places around here.
Now, your dad was an LSU fan. Was he from Louisiana?
Yes.
Oh, he was. Okay. This one swung and a missed. Strike 3. So a Vaughn at bat, which seemed like it lasted 10 minutes between arguments from his manager, finally goes down there. Second strikeout of the game. Second out here in the 5th. 1 on, and in steps Dustin Green. Where in Louisiana did your dad live?
Lafayette, home of the Ragin' Cajuns.
There you go.
Surprisingly, Lafayette, I mean, it's a pretty big city. They don't have a minor league baseball team. Neither does Baton Rouge.
New Orleans does.
The Baby Cakes.
Yeah. Former Zephyrs. Still trying to figure out what a Zephyr. Google what a Zephyr is.
That's a good idea.
This one is hit into left field for a base hit, so we'll have some more time to look into the meaning of a Zephyr.
My guess is that it would be some kind of Cajun animal or swamp animal.
Skeeters president Jay Miller used to be the president of the Zephyrs.
What is a Zephyr? Let's see.
Could bring in the expert if we had to.
A soft, gentle breeze.
You sure you got that spelled right? That doesn't sound right. That's not exactly an intimidating
Zephyr
minor
animal.
league
Here
team.
we go. I mean, I guess they were the New Orleans Gentle Breezes because that's all I can find.
This is coming from a guy currently attending Syracuse University. Lane steps Edwin Garcia. There's one to strike on the outside corner. No balls and one strike to count.
Okay, here we go. It's a little nickname for a. Okay, here it is.
Finally.
Looks like a little cat.
A cat? It does look like a cat. Well, that is a cat. There's got to be other meanings for Zephyr. Oh, actually, mine came out right away. I must have looked at this before. I'm looking up what is a Zephyr.
I wasn't lying to you.
No, you're not. I'm going to the Webster definition now. I'm going to have to bring in Jay Miller. My computer's failing me. I'm going with the gentle breeze. I'm not buying that. There's got to be something. I mean, New Orleans isn't exactly known for its gentle breezes. This one is down low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
Look up the old logo. Maybe we can figure it out if we look
there
at
you
that.
go. See, now you're thinking like a college guy.
That's what I'm saying. Got to live up to that Syracuse reputation.
So far, you're living down to it.
Aha!
This is a cat. All right, so you're right. The logo was a cat. Looks like a beaver with those teeth.
Yeah, it does look like a beaver.
You sure that was a cat, not a beaver? Maybe it was a keever.
I don't know if those exist.
They do in fiction. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Skeeters leading 8-4 here in the top of the 5th.
That was the old logo. This was the new one before they got rid of the name. I kind of like that little.
Yeah, it's got the kind of the Saints logo. I don't know what that particular thing is called.
I don't.
The 2-2. This one hit to the right side, backhanded by Chavez. He'll flip to Talbot. Nice job on both ends, Talbot. Chavez was about halfway to second when he backhanded it, so he had to make a long throw. And a great job by the former big leaguer Talbot covering. Go down 3-1, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Middle of the 5th inning, we're halfway through. Skeeters leading by 4, 8-4. You do have moves, Will Scott. I saw those. Those are impressive. I mean, from the waist up, you look pretty impressive. I don't know what those feet do with those hands when you're on a dance floor, because sometimes people are good car dancers and they can't put the two together. But maybe you do have some moves. You got a prom video that I can use as evidence?
I'm trying to find something here.
Oh, you are. We dig deep. In the meantime, as I sarcastically segue into the bottom of the fifth. Courtney Hawkins, Barrett Barnes, and Dennis Phipps will bat here. Skeeters are up 8-4. Thank you, Tyler Stam, our assistant GM, gave me the attendance. 4,570 fans here on a Saturday night at Constellation Field. Another good crowd. Now, I guess technically you're still a kid, so you're going to run the bases after the game? Kids do get to run the bases.
It's really funny because Caitlin, one of the staff members here, handed me that pass.
Take advantage.
I mean, like, what is this?
You've never run the base. Even coming here as a 15-year-old, you never got to run the bases.
I will say that the Robstown Aviators, they were an independent team. I ran the bases with them and beat the mascot. It was photo finish, but I beat him when I was 7 years old.
You're proud of being a mascot who's in a suit at a huge disadvantage?
Hey, I was little. I couldn't run very fast.
That's one swung and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. So, you come up with, you're not a huge athletic guy. You can't dance. I mean, you've got to have some kind of physical skill here. I mean, outside of broadcasting.
I played tennis.
You did? Yet you didn't trip and kill yourself. And this one is a big swing. 3-2. Actually, excuse me, that one was a little high and tight. I guess he did not swing around. That one looked just a little suspicious. No jawing from the Skeeters dugout, surprisingly. Oh, a 3-2 count here. Hawkins, you throw at him again. He's going to send one about 4 miles like he did yesterday. I think he hit the Imperial Lofts over there. There was a dent in my window this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I told you. Right when he hit that, I said, I bet you your window's damaged. Sure enough.
I'm exaggerating. I live in the building behind that. This one is Sky down the right side. Will the wind pushes out of play? The first baseman, Rodriguez, reaches into the first row and brings it in. Nice catch. So foul out is the first out. That'll bring in Barrett Barnes, who has struck out, was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Is that you getting tossed?
That is me at prom last year.
What, stage diving? How did that happen? You're on your back and they have you in the air.
1 second.
Looks like one of my bar mitzvah pictures.
1 second I'm dancing, the other I'm thrown up in the air. I don't know what happened.
Look at you. Life of the party, Will Scott. I never would have thought it. Oh, my goodness.
It's a fun night.
Or is that you couldn't dance? Everybody just raised the roof with you.
Well, it was that I could dance, and they were trying to get me hyped up.
Yeah, you keep a picture. You can paint that picture, but I'm not buying that, Will. I still need to see video evidence of your dance moves.
All right, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Or a witness. Is the girl that took you to the prom, has she ever surfaced again? Have they ever found her? I think I saw her on the back of a milk carton. Or let me guess, she lives in Canada. 1 ball and 1 strike to count
No,
here.
she was trying to get. If she was trying to avoid me, she wouldn't move to Canada because I'm pretty close to Canada.
That's true. You're in Syracuse. We do call that Canada on Long Island.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. The pitch here to Barnes. This one is fouled off to the right side. Clemens, give him credit. He has retired 4 of the 5 batters after putting out the fire left by Joey Wagman after the grand slam by Kyle Kibitza. And that grand slam made it 8-4. That's where we are here. Same score, bottom of the 5th. Hey, we got some hawkers. Skeeters buzz stop. The folks taking out some merchandise through the stands. I like that little Swatson doll. Maybe you can get Swatson doll for your former date. Maybe they'll lure her back into your cave or web.
Kendall, if you're listening right now, I'm sorry.
I'm not. You know this needs to happen. She's probably applauding this right now. The 2-2. Swung and fouled off to the right side. Count remains 2-2.
I got to take this moment to give a shout out to the Fort Bend Christian softball team. State champs. They beat Fort Worth Christian 10-0 today in the title game. Back-to-back-to-back state champs. They've won the state title 7 times in the past 11 years. The dynasty.
3-peat. That's pretty sweet. That's your old high school, where apparently you went to the prom. This one fouled off. Count remains 2-2. So it was your dancing that led them to 3 straight titles. You motivated the team.
Yes, absolutely.
It's very impressive, Will. Very
I should get a
impressive.
state ring.
Let's not go crazy now. He played tennis. The 2-2. This one just misses off the outside corner. Wow, Clemens thought he had it. How to run the count full here.
What's crazy is not only do they win the state championship, but they run ruled the team they were playing. Like how often do you see that?
10-run mercy rule?
10-run mercy rule.
What inning?
4 innings.
Wow. Speaking of softball and big games, as this one is fouled back, I saw something I've never seen before in baseball or softball. So Florida State advanced to the next round. It was tied at 1-1 in extra innings, and the right fielder dove for the ball. They had a walk-off inside the park home run to win.
In softball?
Isn't that unbelievable?
Because in baseball,
she dove for it, and it went all the way to the right field corner. And it was close at the plate, but not that close. And this one is swung and a miss, strike 3. That is 4 strikeouts in 6 batters by the former big leaguer and Astro Paul Clemens.
Yeah, Clemens came into this game with a pretty high ERA, but gosh, he's looking like a former major leaguer tonight. 4 strikeouts for him through not even 2 innings.
In steps Dennis Phipps. He is lined sharply to right, singled and scored. Skeeters leading 8-4 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Righty-righty matchup here for Clemens. This one is low, 1-0. Couple of Clemens in this ballpark already. Not related to Paul. The Rocket and Kobe. Saw them here earlier when UT played. The 1-0 from the former big league right-hander. What a curve. Man, he's got some bender.
You mentioned Clemens' son played here. I actually got to see Biggio's son play in Binghamton.
Oh, wow. How is he doing?
He's doing actually really, really well. And he was a late draft pick, I think 30-something round, and he had a 2-hit night when I was there.
The 1-1. Check swing, but he went through 1 and 2. What kind of hitter is he? Is he power, average?
Definitely contact hitter.
Contact? Is his average decent?
It's about 340.
No
I
kidding.
think when I was there a couple weeks ago. It
I
was
would call
early
that
in the season,
respectable.
but still pretty respectable, yeah.
1 and 2 here on Phepps, excuse me. The 1-2. This one swung and fouled off the mask of the catcher, Green.
Also got to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, he is probably the hottest prospect in baseball right now, and he looks like he's going to be as good as his dad, and his dad just got into the Hall of Fame.
It was really special when he hit that walk-off in Montreal in the final spring training game.
That's right, where Vlad had a good portion of his career. That guy could literally hit anything. I saw him hit a ball on a bounce, and he had the huge arm reach at 6'5". This one is grounded to third. Ka'u'ala will throw him out, and that'll do it. 3 up, 3 down inning here for Clemens, and that was a long half inning for a 3 up, 3 down inning. We are through 5 innings of play. Skeeters still up 8-4.
Now into pitch for Sugarland. Danny Reynolds, the 6', 195-pound righty from Las Vegas, Nevada. Last action was with Gwinnett, the AAA team for the Braves, and Danny Reynolds this season has been perfect. 20-0, no runs in 9 innings pitched with 13 strikeouts.
Reynolds will try to continue his scoreless inning streak to start the season here. He'll pitch to Kalika Kahu'o'ala'ala, then back to the top of the order with Johnny Bladell and Devin Rodriguez. Reynolds, 9 scoreless to start the season. In steps Kalika, who has a sac bunt and a ground out to short, and he is now 0 for 17 to start the 2018 campaign. 8-4, the Skeeters leading here as we move to the top half of the 6th inning. Reynolds, a great fastball. One of the hardest throwers here in the Atlantic League. This one is hit to center field. This will make him 0 for 18 and brought down by Barnes in center for out number 1. Get you the repertoire here of Reynolds. Let's see, Danny, 94 to 97 on the fastball, changeup and a curve. Now the book on Talbot is closed, and despite the lead, he actually didn't throw a lot of pitches. Talbot throws 73 pitches, 56 of them for strikes, which means just 17 balls. That's pretty unbelievable, despite allowing a few runs. 9 hits, 4 runs, but only 2 of them earned, so he will probably stay as the Atlantic League ERA leader. Did not walk about and struck out 2. Did not get a lot of help defensively. Kind of surprised Talbot threw 7 shutout innings in game 1 of this series, comes out after 73 pitches.
Especially since he has a 4-run lead to work with.
As one is fouled off to the right side. Maybe Peter Gavilia just wants to get somebody some work.
He kind of seemed to settle in last inning too. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
A 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of the 6th. Skeeters are leading 8-4. Johnny Bladell has been on base all 3 times. He has singled twice between reached on error by shortstop Alvaro Rondon and then scored on a throwing error by Matt Chavez. 2 errors on the day for Sugarland. The 1-1. Big curveball catches the outside corner, 1-2.
Johnny Bladell, like Devin Rodriguez, had a lot of success in college but went undrafted. He's a James Madison University graduate. He had a .328 career average with the Dukes, 53 stolen bases. He's never been signed, though, by a major league club. No affiliated ball action for him.
The 1-2 here by Reynolds. Check swing, a little high and tight. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's never had a season, Ira, below a .280 batting average in his 4 years in independent ball.
You can see how good of a hitter he is. He came in with an even .400 batting average. Been very good in this series. The 2-2. On the outside corner, strike 3. It is dropped by Norris. Have to throw it down to first. He does. Completes it. First strikeout for Reynolds. The 3rd strikeout by Skeeters pitchers today. And there's 2 down. So with 2 outs and nobody on here, Devin Rodriguez will step in. He has reached on error. That was the throwing error by Chavez. Had an RBI single. Had a sac fly RBI. So he is 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run score. He'll step in here with 2 outs, none on, and the Skeeters leading 8-4 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Reynolds looking for a 1-2-3 inning here. First pitch by the Skeeters right-hander. Swung in, chop, foul, 0-1.
Let's take a look around the Atlantic League. First place, Lancaster Barnstormers beating the last place Road Warriors 7-1. That game is in the top of the 8th.
That'll be 8 in a row if they hang on.
And then in Somerset, the Ducks are beating the Patriots 6-2. Of course, Sugarland will be New Jersey bound to play the Patriots here in a couple days.
The 0-1 by Reynolds. Swung in, hit towards third. Backhanded and off the mid of Albert Cordero. A rare miscue by Albert. Throw will come into second. That will probably be a hit. Deep behind third was Cordero, and he had a backhanded. I mean, it's a play he'll probably tell you he should have made, but I think that's probably going to be a hit.
Yeah, we've seen some web gems from Cordero these last couple games at third base, but that was a really, really tough ball to get. Well hit down the third base line. He had to backhand it. Would have been a hit anyway, but Cordero will definitely be upset with himself about that one.
Wow, they're going to score that one in error.
Oh, wow.
Third of the night. That's a tough E. In steps Ryan Strasburger, who has an RBI single. He has lined out to right the last 2 times out. Game in at 294, 2 home runs, now is 13 RBIs.
Strasburger extending his hitting streak to 9 games, hitting .333 during that streak. In this series, he's hitting .350.
Righty-righty matchup here for Reynolds. Skeeters leading 8-4 here in the top of the 6th. The 1-0, this one is swung and missed. Skeeters trailed 3-0 after an inning and a half of this one. Trying for their third come-from-behind victory this season. That's how well they've been playing. They've only had 3 opportunities, really. Skeeters played even better here at Constellation Field. They're 10-4 at home, 3-3 on the road on their only road trip. The 1-1 is one down low, 2-1. As we'll mention, after tomorrow's game, the Skeeters will have a day off and then head out on another 6-game road trip, starting in Somerset for 3, including a morning contest. Then they will go to New Britain to play the Bees for the first time this season. Started the season here against New Britain. Going to Hardware City. This one is hit into right field. Long run for Kubica, and he runs it down going towards the right field corner. Great jump by Kubica. Does such a great job out there, both hitting and fielding. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. Middle of the 6th inning. Skeeters still up 8-4. We move to the bottom of the 6th. The Skeeters, who lead 8-4, will send up 9-1-2. Alvaro Rondon is having himself a good day. 2 at-bats, 2 hits, a bunt single. Last time up, a triple and 2 runs scored. First pitch is swung and a line drive bullet. It is speared by Johnny Bladell. He hit it on the nose, but Bladell reached up and brought it down for out number 1.
Even though that's an out, you got to credit Rondon for being aggressive right there. Swinging at the first pitch from Clemens, who's had a great night. Rondon starting to figure things out, 2 for 3 the past 2 games.
Back to the top of the order now with Kyle Kubica, who last time up. The difference in this game, a grand slam, put the Skeeters up 8-4, and that's where we are here in the bottom of the 6th. He also has an RBI single, and he's grounded out. So 5 RBIs, 2 for 3, and he has scored 2 runs. First pitch swung and missed. No balls and 1 strike to count. Came in 3-0-4. 2 home runs, now 18 excuse me, 3 home runs, now 18 RBIs. The 0-1. Check swing down low. Another good breaking ball by the former big leaguer Paul Clemens.
Obviously, the Blue Crabs bullpen is really struggling this series, and we were talking off air. Wonder why Clemens hasn't been pitching a little bit more.
Yeah, kind of surprised. They have had a tough time getting outs out of that bullpen. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here on Kubica. Matt Chavez on deck. When was the last time Matt Chavez had an over? Actually, I think he had one in this series now that I think about it.
The last time Clemens was a starting pitcher was in 2011.
The 1-2, swung and missed, out in front of an off-speed pitch, and that is out number 2. Let's see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row, retired by Clemens.
He's dealing.
5 strikeouts now in, let's see, 2 2/3. In steps Matt Chavez, as he will try for his second straight 1-2-3 inning. Well, somebody had to bring some sanity to the Blue Crab side on the mound. First pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes to count to Matt.
I mentioned that Clemens was a starter in 2011 with AA Mississippi. That's the affiliate for the Braves. Pretty solid number, 6-5, 6-5 record, 3.73 ERA.
Here's one to strike on the outside corner. It's been almost a week actually since Chavez had an over. He has hit in 6 straight. He's back on Long Island. Skeeters lost 6-0 to the Ducks. The 1-1 from the former big leaguer. This one is grounded to the shortstop. Garcia backhands, fires to first in time, and a second straight 1-2-3 inning. That is now 8 straight, retired by Clemens. 2/3 of the way through, end of the 6th. Skeeters are leading 8-4. Somebody told me a cat can also be called a zephyr. Is that true?
According to Google.
Skeeters are leading 8-4. Angelo Sanco, Teodoro Martinez, and Corey Vaughn meet at the order 4, 5, and 6 against Reynolds. Reynolds only allowed 1 runner to reach. That was only because of an error by third baseman Albert Cordero. That was kind of a tough error at that. So in steps the left-hander hitting DH Sanco, who came in 233, no home runs, no RBIs for the cleanup hitter. Now granted, he has not been with this team long, but he does not have an RBI from the cleanup spot. That is just not good. Guess you have to have opportunities first.
He didn't start in the cleanup spot. He
True.
kind of transitioned into that, but still, I think this is his third game in the cleanup spot. He's got 7 hits in this series, but no RBIs to show for.
9th game here with no RBIs as well. Sanko 0 for 3. He has fouled out twice in Florida. The 1-0. Swung and foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
Sanko spent 5 years in the Dodgers organization. Best year coming in 2011 with the advanced single A team, hitting .313 with 29 homers and 114 RBIs.
Wow.
So 114 RBIs, but he doesn't have one this season thus far.
How many games was that in?
That was a full season, so over 100 games.
2 balls and 1 strike to count. That is tough to drive in 110 plus in a minor league season. I mean, even an affiliate is 140 games. That's quite a feat. 100 is tough in a 140 game schedule. 2 balls and a strike. You know what the record is, the major league record for RBIs at the All-Star break is?
Let me think. So we got 162 game season, All-Star breaks, a little bit over 80. I'm gonna go with 120.
That's actually a good guess. I didn't think you'd go that high. 110, Hank
110.
Greenberg.
Okay.
That's unbelievable in 81
That
games.
is unbelievable.
The 2-2, this one skied left side. Very interesting minor league player, this guy and Joe Bauman. They have greatest minor league seasons actually in Cooperstown. Bauman hit over 400. He had, let's see if I can remember his home runs. That's right, it was 72 home runs and 225 RBIs.
200. Wow.
That's in one of the old Texas leagues too.
Quite shocked that he didn't get called up to the majors at any point during that season. Finished 225 RBIs.
Nope, never made it to the bigs. Never really had a season anywhere close to that again. I'm gonna bring up his numbers. I mean, it was just a year of years. There's one, a strike on the outside corner, strike 3.
Sanko arguing with the home plate ump.
Not happy at all.
Looked pretty good to me.
I agree. So 1 out. All of a sudden, both pitchers. Maybe everybody wants to finally get out of here. This game has suddenly speeded up. It was dragging 2 hours, about 20 minutes through 5 innings. Last couple have gone very quickly. I'm going to get you the numbers for Joe Bauman. Very impressive. If I can find them. There we go. Get to it after the pitch here. First pitch here is a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count.
From Oklahoma.
Yep. So let's see. And they didn't have all numbers complete throughout his career. Listen to this year. So 1954, playing for Roswell. In the old, I believe it was the Longhorn League. Was it
Roswell, New Mexico?
Yep. But I think it was, yeah, the Longhorn League.
UFO City?
Yes, indeed. Roswell, New Mexico. Maybe he was an alien putting up these type of numbers. So he hit exactly 400 that year. 72 home runs, and that was the professional baseball record until Barry Bonds broke it with his 73 home runs, by the way. 224 RBIs. So one swung and missed, 1 and 2 to count.
And he only played for 2 more seasons after that.
Yep, he hit 46 home runs the next year, 17 in his final year, and that was it. Done. And at age 34. The odd part about it is that his first year at 19 years old in 1941, and then he didn't play again until he was 24 years old. Played in Amarillo. This one, a hit to the left side. Cordero, nice stab this time by his left. He'll throw it to first, not in time. Martinez got down the line in a hurry. I think Cordero might have taken too many steps there. That'll be an infield single.
Definitely a bang-bang play at first base. Skeeters fans kind of upset. From my vantage point, it looked like an out. I don't know if you had a different viewpoint there, but
I had a feeling it was going to be called safe. It was certainly close.
tie does go to the runner, of course.
Although, I think in this day and age, the tie really goes to the fielder. I mean,
Yeah.
how many great plays you see the umpire bang a guy out at first?
So are you a fan of instant replay, or are you not liking this new instant replay thing in Major League Baseball?
Well, I mean, there's certainly things that have happened in the past that were blatant calls that were missed. I mean, ask any Royals fan about the KC Cardinal World Series when that call was blown, the Galarraga perfect game that was blown, those type of things. But it takes forever. I knew once it was in, it was going to be expanded too far. It seems like there's supposed to be a limit, but there's not.
No.
I don't think that's enforced.
And you see some reviews taking up to 5 minutes.
Yeah, you know, they talk about pace of play and shortening the game. Then all they do is find ways to extend it. I think at least they have to have it like in football. You throw the red flag, you get 2 of them a game, and that's it. No exceptions,
That's
except maybe
right.
later in the game if it's an umpire's call. Just like they do under 2 minutes. It's going to be an umpire review only in football, that type of thing. Obviously in the playoffs, same scenario. But I just think it's gotten expanded too far. I mean, if a ball is fair or foul, a home run certainly a difference worth looking at. In fact, Mark McGwire, the year he hit 70, he got robbed of a home run. It hit a pole and bounced back quickly. They called it a double. Things like that. It seems like every single thing can be reviewed. I keep saying, what's next? You know, balls and strikes. I mean,
Or, well, people are calling for robo-umps.
exactly. So how far off is it really? That's a little much. You can't take. It seems like, and the Major League umpires are so good. I mean, when
Yeah.
you watch them, they're right 98% of the time. So they can't even be a 2% margin of error. You have to be perfect. I just think it's a little much. Football, I really do get replays. There's too much going on. There's too much you can't see. There's too many guys that are too close together on a play.
You know, as long as an umpire is consistent, you know, I know that he or she's going to have their own strike zone, but as long as they're consistent with their calls, then that's fine.
And that's pretty much any player or coach. They don't care if the strike zone's too big or too small, as long as it's consistent. The 3-1 here to Vaughn by Reynolds is swung in, chop foul 3-2. And Cameron's back onto the field to Cordero at third. Throw it in the stands.
So Vaughn, I mentioned earlier, spent 5 years in the Mets organization. Spent the same time in the Mets organization, same time as Ben Grissett, but they were never teammates.
Oh, wow.
Ben was in Binghamton when Corey was in Las Vegas. And when Corey was in Binghamton, Ben was in St. Lucie.
Ships in the night. Payoff pitch here by Reynolds. This one high ball 4. Martinez was on the move, but he'll just trot into second now. First and second with 1 away. Skeeters leading 8-4 here in the 7th. And Austin Green, the catcher, will step in. What's Green waiting for? Looks like they're going to have a little chat. Derek Norris is going to come out. Here comes Corey Dommel, the Skeeters pitching coach. And don't know what this is about. Reynolds allowed an infield single and a walk, certainly not the end of the world. And I got to tell you, I know what Major League Baseball is trying to do. They're introducing the visits to the mound, but 6 is worthless. You're never, I mean, nobody's getting through 3. And I know next year they'll probably say, all right, 2, which is what they do here. But once again, if staying in the box, visits to the mound, and all the other pace of play rules are not enforced, what good are they? Because they really worked well here when they were first instituted here in the Atlantic League, and they're not enforced at all. How many times do they go to the mound and it's considered no visit? I mean, what are they talking about, dinner plans? I mean, come on. How is this not a visit?
They're probably talking about Floyd's after the game.
Well, at least they know where to go for good crawfish. So first and second, 1 away. Skeeters leading 8-4 here in the top of the 7th. Austin Green, the catcher, will step in. He has grounded the third, grounded back to the pitcher, and singled last time up. He is 1-for-3 officially. First pitch by Reynolds, a strike at the knees, 0-1 the count.
Coming into Thursday's game, Green was just 4 of 23 on the season, 0 RBIs, but Thursday, 3 for 5 with 5 RBIs was our player of the game and having another solid night tonight.
No balls and 1 strike the count here. Reynolds looks at the runner at second, Martinez, but fires it home. Swung on, popped up, will to stay in play. The wind got a hold of it. Chavez and Norris give it a chase, but run out of room quickly here. Somebody played the carom there nicely. ricocheted from the second deck down to a guy in the 4th row. He was just sitting there waiting for it.
Maybe we can get one from the second deck one day.
Yeah, good luck with that. We're not getting one from the second deck. It'll ricochet down in front of us unless it hits something
so
and ricochets
have
back.
to hit the second deck and then ricochet up to us.
It's going to take a lot of moves there. No balls and 2 strikes to count. The 0-2 here from Reynolds. Gerbil swung a hit toward short. Diving stop by Rondoni. Steps on second, throws to first in time. What a play by the Skeeters shortstop, Ozzie Smith. Eat your heart out. 6-3 double play, and the Skeeters get out of this. 7th inning stretch time. Get your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I do care if you never come back. Skeeters up 8-4.
Sam Runyon now on the mound, the ERA leader for the Blue Crabs. He's got a 1.13 ERA through 9 games this season. 1 earned run, 3 hits allowed, and 10 strikeouts in 8 innings pitched for Runyon.
Runyon will face 3, 4, and 5 here. Derek Norris, Albert Cordero, then Rolando Gomez. First pitch by Runyon, a strike, 0-1 the count. Norris has struck out, walked, doubled, and stolen a base. Norris came in at 250 with the home run and 9 RBIs. Runyon with that herky-jerky kind of delivery. I don't know how he does that consistently.
Runyon spent 2 seasons in Syracuse, New York, Salt City, USA. The Syracuse Chiefs posted a 5.75 ERA in 2016 for them.
This one is a slow roller, swinging bunt. I don't think they're going to get him. The throw to first will never get Norris. Runyon threw it to first, but he really had no chance, even with Norris running. That'll be the second hit of the game for Norris, on base for the 3rd time.
How about that? We saw a stolen base earlier, and then that's an infield single. Norris showing off his speed.
After squatting for 7 innings, that's impressive. Runyon last year for Southern Maryland, 3-2, a 4.39 ERA and a save. Career-wise, 36 and 39 with a 4.82 ERA and 14 saves. So you were telling me something about you and a football game, Syracuse football game, dressed in all orange.
I'm really stunned. I have not told you about what I usually wear at Syracuse games.
Got to see this. By the way, I have to give you some props here. This one is swung to hit towards second. They'll go to second for one. A little bit of a low throw. That's all they'll get. Fielder's choice will go down 4-6. Will actually pulled out some video of his dance moves with Grandma. And it was impressive. Oh my goodness. Is that an orange suit you're wearing? An orange suit, folks. An orange tie, orange jacket, orange pants, and a white shirt. You could be a Syracuse mascot.
Yeah, and I also have a little, we call ourselves the Dome Duo. Got a little partner there.
Oh, look out. Actually, the Ducks on-field host wears an orange jacket.
Really?
Yeah, not the whole suit, though. That's impressive. Might have to show him that. Might have to text me that picture. First pitch here is a strike, 0-1 the count. 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the seventh. Skeeters are leading 8-4. Do you wear that anywhere else to Syracuse occasions or only to the games?
I wear them to a couple different things, mainly just to the games, though. This is the picture of when we beat Clemson, storming the field.
I like your part. Is that you or is that your partner with the black shirt and the orange suit?
So for that game, we wore blue because Clemson's white, orange and white, so we didn't want to associate ourselves with Clemson.
This one swung and fouled down the left side. 0-2 the count.
That's my favorite picture of all time. Sorry, our listeners.
How did you get to storm the field?
So Clemson was number 2 in the country, defending national champions coming in. Syracuse was like a 20-point underdog. We beat Clemson. All the fans stormed the field after the game.
Oh, wow. More importantly, who took that picture when it got trampled like the running of the Bulls?
Some Syracuse.com photographer. Credit them.
The 0-2, strike 3, right at the letters. So Rolando Gomez has struck out all 3 times since coming in for the injured Anthony Jansanti. That is the first strikeout for Runyon. 2 down now. Runner still at first. Courtney Hawkins will step in. He has doubled and driven in 2, struck out and fouled out. Hawkins came in 247, 5 home runs. Now has 27 RBIs. Keep in mind, this is game number 21. First pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes to count.
Maybe he can challenge Ballman for the most RBIs in a single season.
Not quite. The 1-0. This one is low and away. Two balls and no strikes to count.
Courtney Hawkins' home run the other day in that 14-1 win came with 2 outs. So
that's true.
Let's see if we can do it again here.
That's one high and outside. Both teams in double digits in hits. Skeeters have 11 to the Blue Crabs 10. Skeeters winning 8-4. It's been that way since the 4th inning. 3 balls and no strikes here to Courtney. The 3-0. That's when a fastball strike catches the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. And I got to think with a 4-run lead, Hawkins is going to be swinging from his heels if it's anywhere close. Runyon's 3-1. Swung and fouled straight back. Yeah, Hawkins was all over that. That was right at the letters, and he was swinging for the downs. Well, a full count now with 2 down, so Cordero at first will be off to the races. Speaking of races, Preakness today had that
Justify 1 and 2 legs down for the Triple Crown, 1 to go. It was actually one of the closest horse races I've ever seen.
Payoff pitch, swung and hit sharply down the third base line. That's a fair ball past the diving third baseman. Let's see if they wave around Cordero. They will. A throw will be cut off. Cordero scores, and the Skeeters take a 5-run lead. They're up 9-4. Double for Hawkins, and another RBI. He might challenge Joe Bauman, his 3rd of the game. RBI number 30 on the season. Excuse me, 28 on the season. 2nd double of the game as well.
Courtney Hawkins on the payoff pitch from the ERA leader for this Blue Crabs team. Took it down the left field line, and another RBI from Courtney Hawkins. Why am I not surprised?
Well, in steps Barrett Barnes, who has struck out twice and was hit by a pitch between. He's also scored a run. He scored on the Kibitza Grand Slam. This one is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 the count.
First run since the fourth inning for the Skeeters. It feels like a while ago, even though they only have, I shouldn't say only 9 on the scoreboard right now, but only half of what they had last night.
The 0-1, this one fouled into the screen. Good hack there by Barnes. He was all over it down in the count, however, 0-2. A 1-run in here, 1 on, 2 out, and an 0-2 count coming here to Barnes. Sugar Land native and former first-round draft pick. The 0-2 here by Runyon. Swan, a hit high and deep in the air to left center field. The wind's got a hold of this one at the wall and caught by the left fielder Ryan Strausberger with his back up against the wall for a long, loud out, and that will do it. But the Skeeters get another run and get a little bit of a cushion here. They get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We are through 7 innings of play. Skeeters extend it to a 5-run lead, 9-4.
Sugar indeed, because Sugarland's own Kyle Winkler is now on the mound for the Skeeters. 5.63 ERA for Winkler this season through 8 innings pitched, 5 runs allowed on 6 hits, and the Kempner High School graduate has struck out 5.
Last time out was in this series in that game where the Skeeters battling back but fell a little short. They lost 10-8. He went 1 inning, allowed 2 runs. Only one of them earned 2 hits. No walks, struck out 3. In 2 of the last 3 outings, he has allowed a run, including 5 total runs in 2 1/3. He had not allowed a run at all in the previous 6 appearances. We will face 8, 9, and 1 here in the top of the 8th. Edwin Garcia, Kalika, Kahu O Ala Ala, and then back to the top of the order with Johnny Bladell. Kalika, when he bats, he'll be 0 for 18, trying to break that slide. First pitch to Garcia, low and in, ball 1, 1-0. Garcia's 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run scored, grounded out last time up.
Garcia was Venezuelan Winter League teammates with the Skeeters' Dennis Phipps.
1 ball and no strikes to count here. Winkler's next pitch just a little low towards the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes. Winkler a fastball, 90-93. A changeup and a slider. Skeeters are leading 9-4 as they added a run in the 7th. The 2-0, low and away. That one gets past Norris to the screen, but nobody on, no need to worry. 3-0.
Last time Winkler was on the mound, didn't get much help from his defense. A couple of errors in that inning. Let's hope his defense can back him up tonight and get a 1-2-3 inning here, but he's behind in the count 3-0.
The pitch by Winkler is a strike at the knees. Garcia took a step towards first, but he'll come back. 3-1 the count. Skeeters 9 runs on a dozen hits. They've committed 3 errors tonight. 4 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. Those E's came early. Well, there are 3 E's in Skeeters, I suppose. This one way inside, ball 4.
Staying on Venezuela for a minute, I got a chance to talk to
I never left Venezuela, by the way.
Felipe Paulino before the game. And he says the Venezuelan Winter League, which attracts so many big-name players, is a huge reason why we see so much talent coming out of Venezuela in Major League Baseball and also independent baseball.
They're certainly a hotbed, kind of the new Dominican Republic. Well, with 1 on and none out, Kalika Kahu'o'ala will try to break in 0 for 18 slide to start the season. First pitch, right down the middle. Good pitch by Winkler, 0-1. Winkler again induced a double play ball here. Cordero guarding the line at third. Chavez holding the runner on at first. It's one high, 1-1.
Well, a player like Kahu Halaala is probably going to be more likely to hit into a double play. So, see if Winkler can get him to hit into one right here.
Short in second and double play depth. The 1-1. This one is a little bit low, 2-1. Mass ball missed downstairs. Skeeters with a 5-run lead here. The 2-1. Swan had a bullet, almost broke his slide there. Foul down the third base side. Skeeters tomorrow in the finale. They'll send out Matt Sergi, 0-1 in his only start, and even 9 ERA against fellow righty Casey Delgado, who is 1-1 with a 3.60 ERA. Winkler from the stretch. They set up inside, and the 2-2. Swung and a miss, strike 3. Swung on a ball low and away. That's the first strikeout for Winkler. 1 on and 1 out. Back to the top of the order with Johnny Bladell.
Bladell struck out his last time up.
Bladell has reached base 3 times, 2 singles, reached on an error, scored a run. Struck out last time up. Came in batting an even 400. Home run and a dozen RBIs. This one is low, 1-0.
Winkler, when I got a chance to talk to him the other day, his high school just being less than a mile down the road, says parents walk to the games.
Yeah, imagine if you could live close enough to walk to a game. That'd be great.
I'm sure you have no idea what that feels like.
None. None whatsoever.
It's pretty nice. I mean, I didn't have the greatest dorm this past year at Syracuse, but just steps from the Carrier Dome, so that was very convenient.
What was the biggest snowstorm you got up there? Was that the first time you saw snow?
No, I'd seen snow a couple times, but nothing like what Syracuse has to offer.
This one is a bullet into left field. That's going to be a base hit. A one-hopper in front of Courtney Hawkins, who quickly gets it in and throws a strike to third. And runs on first and second with only 1 away here in the top of the 8th. Skeeters leading 9-4.
The snowstorm was so bad one day, Syracuse canceled class for just the 3rd time in the school's history. But you know what? I didn't have class that day.
Oh, man. How brutal. So you got a snow day, but you couldn't take advantage.
No.
Here comes Pete and Cavilla. Looks like this is going to be all for Reynolds. Excuse me, for Winkler. And it will be. So we'll have a new Skeeters pitcher when we return. Skeeters are up 5 runs, first and second. only one away. We'll tell you all about the new Skeeters hurler when we get back here in just a moment.
Enter Hunter Cervenka, the 6'1", 245-pound lefty. Local guy from Baytown, Texas. Spent some time with the Miami Marlins last season, and he has a 1.74 ERA and 10 1/3 innings pitched. 2 runs allowed on 6 hits, and he struck out 13.
Cervenka, much like Reynolds, is been almost flawless. Reynolds has been completely flawless, hasn't allowed a run. Only one outing Cervenka allowed a run this year. That was 3 appearances ago against Long Island. The Skeeters 5-3 win. 1 inning, 2 runs, both earned on 2 hits. Last time out, he picked up the win in this series, and the Skeeters 6-4 victory went an inning and a third. No runs, no hits, no walks, and a strikeout. In fact, he got 4 outs and faced just 3 batters. This one is low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Cervenka usually money when he comes in.
Sure, Pete Incavilla is very familiar with Devin Rodriguez. Played with the Texas Air Hogs, Laredo's rival, 2016. Hit .302 with them.
Rodriguez has reached on an error, singled a run in, had a sac fly RBI for a run, and then reached on another error. The 1-1. Check swing. Did he go? No. 2-1. Good hit and run count. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. It is Edwin Garcia down at second and Johnny Bladell on at first. One's not over yet. Skeeters up by 5, 9-4 here in the 8th. The 2-1. This one is down low. 3 balls and a strike here. I mean, a home run would make this a 9-7 game. Sure, Paulino is going to be warming up next inning. Cervenka from the stretch. The southpaw looks at second and fires home. Swung and hit and knocked down by Cervenka. He'll throw it to second for 1. The reel to first. Scooped out of the dirt by Chavez. What a play. Cervenka knocked it down. Still had time to pick it up, throw it to second, and Chavez scoops out of the dirt for a nifty 1-6-3 DP. And he gets out of it. 1 batter, 2 outs. And after 7.5 innings, Skeeters, thanks to Cervenka, still have a 5-run lead. They're up 9-4.
On the bump now for the Blue Crabs, it's going to be Ryan Chafee, the 6'2", 195-pound righty from Bellevue, Nebraska. Last action was with AA Winnipeg. And in this season, he has an even 9 ERA, 9 runs allowed on 12 hits in 9 innings pitched, and he struck out 6 for Southern Maryland.
We've seen Chafee a couple times in this series. He will face 8-9-1 here. Dennis Phepps, Alvaro Rondon, and then Kyle Kapitza already has 5 RBIs in this one. Bottom of the 8th, Skeeters are leading by 5, 9-4. Now, it's not a safe situation. Would you still bring Paulino into this one?
Probably not, just because Cervenka had a really quick inning last time around, and there's, we're up 5 runs, so.
This one swung and missed. I agree with you, but I just have the feeling he might come in. 1 ball and 1 strike the count here.
He is warming up
Phipps
in the pen.
The 1-1. This one in the dirt, backhanded by the catcher Green, and now 2-1 the count. Chafee last time out, a third of an inning in the Blue Crabs' 10-8 win in this series. He allowed 2 runs, both earned, 1 hit, 2 walks, no strikeouts. In the Skeeters, in the Blue Crabs 4-2 win in Game 2, he had 1 inning and picked up the save, walking 2. Has won a strike on the outside corner, 3-2. Phipps 1 for 3 tonight with a run scored. Chafee kicks and deals the payoff pitch, and this one is spoiled. Fouled off back to the right. Count remains 3-2 on Dennis. Dennis spells his name with 1 N. Again, the payoff pitch. This one is, again, spoiled. Fouled into the screen this time. Oh, Phipps battling here. You'll see an 8th pitch. Nine runs on 12 hits for the Skeeters, 4 on 11 for the Blue Crabs. Again, the 3-2, low and away, ball 4, and a leadoff walk here for Phipps and the Skeeters. This is the second walk of the night for Sugar Land, who leads the league in walks. And steps Alvaro Rondon, having himself a nice night. 2 for 3, a triple, a bunt single. He lined out sharply to second last time out. Giving a bullet to Johnny Blade Allen, who scored 2 runs. This one a strike on the outside corner. Good off-speed pitch there. 0-1 the count. They set up inside. This one way inside. Almost hits Rondon. Now 1 ball and 1 strike the count here.
Rondon, obviously a very talented defensive player at short. He's made a couple web gems in this series, but now he's finally starting to turn it around at the plate. 2 for 3 tonight, 2 for 3 last night.
There's one, a strike on the inside corner. 1 and 2 on the left end, hitting Rondon. The righty Chafee delivers, and this one is served into shallow right field. This might drop in, and it will. Around second, heading for third is, no, Phipps is going to stop. Strike thrown to third. Smart move there. And Rondon has his 3rd hit of the night. Skeeters threatening for more, first and second. Here comes Kyle Kapitza. He already has 5 RBIs on the game. Imagine if it's a home run here. Have an 8 RBI night.
Phipps was kind of lucky. That wasn't thrown to Edwin Garcia, who's at second base. Phipps kind of in no man's land between second and third. Luckily for him, Martinez was throwing right at Kahualala at third base.
Well, in steps Kyle Kubica. He is 2 for 4 with an RBI single and a grand slam. He's also grounded out and struck out last time up, and he scored 2 runs. First pitch, a ball to the left-hand hitting right fielder. The 1-0. Swung on, popped up left side, down the left field line. Long run by the shortstop Garcia, now in foul territory, and he brings it down for out number 1. That's a big out there for Chafee. So 1 out, in steps Matt Chavez, who's 0 for 4. A rare night for Matt. He has grounded out to short twice. He has lined out and struck out. "13 combined runs, 24 combined hits, and 3 combined errors between these two squads tonight. Skeeters leading 9-4 here in the bottom of the 8th, but they are 3 defensive outs away from taking a 4-2 series lead. This one is inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Fastball missed, a little bit high and tight for the right-hander hitting Chavez. Chafee so far, 15 pitches, 8 for strikes, 7 for balls. Skeeters have runners on first and second with only 1 away here for Chavez. This one is hit into the right center field gap. That's going to fall in for a base hit. They're going to wave around Phipps. The throw is going to come into third. Getting into third safely is Rondon. And getting into second is Chavez. And the Skeeters extend their lead. They're up 10-5. And that is our Texas Farm Bureau Insurance run of the game. Texas Farm Bureau members get free tickets to Skeeter games on Sunday. Just show proof of your current membership at the Skeeters TDECU ticket office, and you can get 2 free tickets to any Sunday home game. Visit your local agent to become a member today.
Matt Chavez kind of had an off night, 0 for 4 before that. He wasn't going to go hitless in this one. He had to join in on the fun.
That is now a 7-game hitting streak for Chavez. This one is popped up right side. The second baseman, Blade Al, will bring down Norris's pop, and there's the 2 outs. So in steps Albert Cordero. Cordero has 2 singles. He has an RBI, 2 runs scored, and a 2 for 4 night. Switch hit on bat here from the left side. That was a single awarded to Chavez. He went to second on the throw. RBI number 12 for Matt Chavez as well. First pitch to Cordero in the dirt. Scooped on a short hop by the catcher Green. Nice play. There's a 10-4 lead here. Cordero came in at 385 home runs, now at 17 RBIs. Fastball is high, 2-0 the count.
Looks like Cordero is going to change gloves here.
No, I think they have intentionally walked him.
Oh, okay.
The pace of play rules. At any time, even if there's a couple pitches thrown, you can just wave the guy down to first. So bases are loaded here. We see the second grand slam on that. Oh, I see. They want to pitch to Gomez, who has struck out 3 times. This one is hit towards short. Probably a smart move here. Easy play to second base. Goes down 6-4 on the fielder's choice, and the Skeeters are done. But they pick up another run on the RBI single by Matt Chavez. They lead by 6 now, 10-4. Last chance for the Blue Crabs when we get back. Skeeters trying to close it out here and take a 4-2 lead in the 7-game series.
Now on the mound for the Skeeters, it's the closer, Felipe Paulino. No runs allowed for him through 7 1/3 innings pitched this season. 3 hits and 10 strikeouts for the former Houston Astro.
Trying to close this one out. Not a save situation with a 10-4 lead here. You'll face 3, 4, and 5. Ryan Strausberger, Angelo Sanco, and Teodoro Martinez. This one is grounded to short. 6-3 on the putout. And there's one down. A 1 out, none on here. Paulino needs 2 more outs to wrap this one up. It's been a long evening. This game closing in on 3.5 hours. This one is a strike at the knees. 0-1 the count. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Skeeters are leading 10-4 in the top half of the ninth. Hunter Savanka came in last inning. Got the final 2 outs on a double play that he turned himself a 1-6-3 DP. A 1 batter, 2 outs, and he was out of there. This one inside, 2-1. Paulino, an impressive closer, as we'll mention a former big league starter, so he's a closer with 5 pitches. Paulino, 90-93 on his fastball, a changeup, a slider, a curve, and a sinker. The 2-1 by the big right-hander. Swung and a miss, 2-2. And when I say big right-hander, I do mean big. He is 6'3", 270. 12th year as a pro. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count here. The 2-2. Paulino will kick and fire. This one is swung and grounded slowly to second. Gomez has it. He throws it to first, and Skeeters are 1 out away. 2 ground ball outs as Paulino really has that sinker working here. The only thing standing between Skeeters' win for Paulino and the Skeeters is Teodoro Martinez. He has 3 hits, including 2 infield hits. All singles. He's 3 for 4. He's also struck out. Martinez, 333, no home runs and 1 RBI. The right-hander deals. This one is popped up, shallow center field. Calling for it is Barnes. This should do it. And he'll bring it down as he has both hands in the air saying, I got it, and then doesn't move, though, and brings it down in his left hand. And that's the game as Paulino with another flawless ninth, 3 up, 3 down. Let's take a look at the final numbers here in this one. The Skeeters get 10 runs on 14 hits and a trio of errors. 4 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Blue Crabs. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have the final numbers, all of them. Have our player of the game with Will Scott. We'll preview tomorrow's Game 7 finale. All that and more when we return on the Skeeters post-game show in a moment. Skeeters sail away here with a 10-4 win and now take a 4-2 lead in this 7-game series. Well, an excited Ira Lieben as the Skeeters get a big victory here. They get 10 runs on 14 hits and 3 errors for Sugarland, 4 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Blue Crabs. Time of the game, 3 hours and 21 minutes in front of 4,570 fans here at Constellation Field on a Saturday evening. The winner is Mitch Talbot. He goes 5 innings. He improves to 3-1. And for the second time in this series, Joey Wagman loses. He is now 0-3. Well, let's tell you how this one happened. The Skeeters got off to a bad start. In the first inning, Johnny Bladell singled, and then Matt Chavez, who tried to turn a double play, threw it into left field. Bladell scored all the way from first, and then an RBI single by Ryan Strausberger, and it was 2-0 before the Skeeters even came to the plate. Well, it got worse in the top of the second. The Blue Crabs would strike again after Edwin Garcia led off with a single, then was moved over on a bunt. Another error, this one on Alvaro Rondon, allowed Bladell to reach, and then the next batter, Devon Rodriguez, single, and it was 3-0. The Skeeters began their comeback. They got a pair in the bottom of that inning after the first 3 all got hits. Cordero singled, Jan Santi doubled, and then Hawkins doubled home 2, and the Skeeters were down just 1, 3-2. Skeeters would take their first lead of the game, but it wouldn't last long. In that in the third inning, it was a leadoff triple by Rondon. Kyle Kubica had an RBI single, first RBI part of a big night, and then 3 batters later, Albert Cordero singled, and it was a 4-3 Skeeters lead. But the lead was short-lived as the Blue Crabs got a run in the top of the 4th on a sac fly RBI by Devin Rodriguez, and we're tied at 4. That would be the last time that the Blue Crabs would really be in this game, because it was in the bottom of the 4th where the Skeeters really iced this game. After the first 3 batters reached, Barrett Barnes was hit by a pitch by Joey Wagman, who didn't get an out in the 4th. Then he allowed a single to Dennis Phipps, and then Alvaro Rondon with a bunt single, just trying to get both of them over. Well, that worked out well because the bases were loaded with nobody out. Kyle Kubica came up and hit a grand slam for his 3rd home run of the year, and the Skeeters were up 8-4. It stayed that way until the 7th, when the Skeeters would strike again. Derek Norris had an infield single, then a fielder's choice by Albert Cordero. Rolando Gomez, who came